I am so behind. It's July 24th, 2026. I am at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky, and it's time to get in the weeds. A fabulous Friday, a frazzled Friday, let me tell you. But it's the end of the week, and we're here, and we're clear, and Jeremy's here, so everything's fine. We're open for business, baby. We're ready for it. How you doing, pal?
I'm well. Are you okay?
Not a day in my life have I ever been okay.
All right, fair.
Getting ready. I'm getting people on their toes. I'm getting them excited. You know, the day is here. We're going to be a part of a big event. It's not, oh God, where did that come from?
This is not professional at all the way.
Oh my gosh.
You know, if we're supposed to start the show at 10, starting at 10:10 is not that's not a good opening, you know.
Well, I mean, hold on. If Wrestling Observer Live can start at, 5 to 6 after the hour, sometimes 7, 8 after the hour, then we can start a little late,
I don't know when that actually starts. I don't listen to that show, but
I think they start 5 after, then they do a countdown, and it's a whole thing.
Okay, well, we got to be more professional than Wrestling Observer Live, Joel.
That's true. Alvarez did drop an F-bomb the other day.
I can't do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can because we're on YouTube, but once we get co-opted and move over to the next level, we could probably still do it there. Let's face it, because they're not running a syndicated event. They're they're that.
I don't know. Are they still on? I don't know what station they're on. I have no idea. I don't listen to Observer Live.
Oh, they're still on Sports Byline, but I'm talking the AEW Podcast Network.
Oh, yeah. We could probably get away with cursing over there. They love that stuff.
They do that, and you and I could run the blade and just be nothing but red all over the particular stream and do really well.
I've already done the full 24-hour programming lineup for the podcast network. I've got ideas. If there's one thing I have, it is ideas.
That is true. You are an ideas guy.
Yeah. Execution, iffy. Ideas, got plenty.
6 out of 10?
I don't get it.
Never mind.
Okay.
But for you, all of the...
Isn't it 4 out of 10?
I mean, sure, if you want to go by that metric.
Oh, okay.
For you, I'll give you a 6.
All right. Thank you.
That's kind of what got you married, too.
I'm so... What?
Anyway, how you doing? How's your Friday? Are you excited for another weekend where professional wrestling exists?
How did 6 out of 10 get me? Are you saying that I'm like a 6 out of 10 and that got me married?
You're a 10.
Okay. No, I kind of got it, but like it didn't quite get it clearly.
And they thought I'm the one who's behind today. Who's on first?
Who is on first?
I don't know. We don't have a guest today, so they're not on.
Okay.
Us, who's... Some of the chat is very funny about this this main topic stuff, this WWE Radio stuff. Before we get into it, because it's Friday and because we enjoy you all so much, go ahead, leave a thumbs up on the video. We would appreciate it. We're growing, we're sharing, we're doing our best, and we want you to grow with us because we're never going to change. We are never, ever, ever going to change. The same content that you've seen for the last 15 years on this channel is not going to change just because someone bought us and sold us and told us that we can keep doing what we're doing. Nothing's going to change. We're still going to go to every single event and have a booth that has the logo of the company that co-opted us on the thing. And we're never going to change. You're still going to get the rants that you've come to know and love from this particular show. Nothing's going to change. Can I tell you that again? Nothing is going to change. We're still going to go on our rants. Nothing's going to change. From 1 hour to 2 hours to 17 hours to a whole nation, and now one nation indivisible under entertainment of the world wrestling. But we'll still be here.
No,
all said and done.
Nah.
And also, you can donate a super chat. Any might get your question or statement right on the air. We like those. Appreciate that.
At the end of the show, not only will I be drinking the Wheatley, I'll be doing the ALS challenge. So the ice bucket challenge. I guess it's not an ALS challenge. It's
that might get people a little concerned.
Yeah. I'll be doing the ice bucket challenge at the end of the show. So stick around for that. I don't know, or don't.
that people should stick around. It's for a good cause. It is obviously to support ALS research, and we know that we have a few friends in the wrestling space who are currently dealing with ALS. They're living with ALS, and it's an awful disease to have to live with. And unfortunately, there is no cure. But we've learned through Rebel and through Jeff Cannonball specifically lately that there is some levity that comes with it and some positivity that comes with an otherwise horrible diagnosis. So to support them in any way that we can, we're going to do it, whether that's interviewing people who are close to them or have done stuff related to their causes. We'll do that. And if it's an ice bucket challenge, yeah, sure, it's 15 years too late, but at least we did it, right?
What do you mean it's 15 years?
I mean, it started this whole the ice bucket challenge started like 15 years ago.
Oh, I did it 13 years ago.
Case in point, you proved it.
Yeah. I've done it before. This will not be my first time doing it, but it would be my first time doing it in front of more than just my mom, I guess.
This is a very good question. Will you get doused with a bucket of ice Wheatley?
No, I will drink the Wheatley first and then do the ice bucket challenge, because that'll probably be the last thing I do on the stream.
I assume so then you want to go outside for that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that in the house. That would be a little much. No, I'll take my drink of Wheatley first. I have that over in the cars back there. But I don't know. I think we used all of our ice to put in this bucket. So I don't know. Hopefully we got 2 pieces of ice to spare for the Wheatley portion of things.
Get some in the deep freeze right now. And tell those kids to wake up and get to work.
Yeah.
Go to the ice mines.
The ice mines?
Yes. Someone's saying I ran out of black shirts. That
true.
Shut up. Just because it's true doesn't mean you need to point it out. Just because it's true. It's fine. I guess the news this morning, because TNA talk is inevitable, is Victoria Crawford has left the company. She's gone. She's been released. I mentioned it last night on my post show that, I mentioned it a while ago. Mila Moore was kind of nowhere to be found in the Knockouts TV title tournament, and she was with Tessa Blanchard and Victoria Crawford, and then Tessa left, and Mila Moore is now with Order 4, and I'm like, well, that just leaves Victoria Crawford as the odd woman out, and I'm almost certain that she wasn't renewed. I don't think this was a release. I'm not totally sure yet, but there wasn't anything left for her. But don't worry, Tessa's only black friend in TNA is unfortunately gone from the company. So there it is.
Yeah, Victoria Crawford. I mean, once Tessa was gone, I didn't know what she was going to do, and clearly there's nothing she's going to do. So she is gone. Okay. Yeah.
Did you see the Righteous Deletion? Speaking of things that are 15 years too late.
I did actually watch I was trying to read your text.
See, you say weird things to me and I'll just give it right back. I don't care about this. I was running late. I was taking care of something in the house, and I was trying to find
a black shirt.
I was trying to find a black shirt, couldn't do it. And Jeremy rightfully sends me a text being like, "You good?" And I just said, "Coming." To which he says, "Okay, but are you doing the show today?" And I was like, "Oh, funny guy over here," as I'm like getting my desk ready and starting to get my camera loaded.
I don't know what you're doing.
There,
and coming, you said.
Well, clearly.
Should have said congratulations.
Well, instead, my reply was, "If anything, I'll do it better."
Fair play.
Yes.
My headline of "I busted" has nothing to do with our topic today. It has everything to do with
your morning activities.
True, but also we watched the Ultimatum reunion last night. Man, what a disaster these people are. But this one dude was very adamant about the way things went with him and his ex-partner, but now they're back together. And he's like, "What did we do after we broke up? We fucked. And after I busted," this dude was like high, or everyone's like, everyone thinks I'm high. He says like everyone thinks I'm high type of thing. They got some characters on this show, man, absolute characters. If you've not seen the new season of The Ultimatum, it's something.
Yeah, that could be a lot of fun. Volub in the Weeds channel on Fightful Select Discord sent you a video. It says, "Do not worry, it's English."
You got to check that. I don't check the Discord.
You should probably do that. There's a musical ice bucket challenge video from Vinu Malesh. This
All
might be
right.
something to watch a little. It's YouTube though, so I don't know if we can actually play it on the air because it probably has copyrighted music too.
Yeah, it says please play it before the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Okay, well,
I
we
don't know
might
if
not do that, but we can do this.
Yeah,
So,
I don't want to get this thing copyright struck.
Yeah, Volov sent a super chat as well, saying dropped a link to a video in the Weeds channel of the Discord. Shout out to Fightful Select Discord. Please play it before the Ice Bucket Challenge. Can't believe it's relevant again. It never left, baby. It never left.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, we're not gonna play it just in case of the copyright music stuff because, when we played the one game. I think it was the Eras game. It was something, whatever game we played. Like we didn't think that was copyright music, and then we got hit with a copyright on it. So I'm very skeptical of playing anything that's gonna get us hit with any type of copyright at this point.
Yep. I mean, the good news is whenever we get hit with these, they're not strikes, but we also don't want to keep.
Yeah, it's just annoying. Yeah,
because then I have to go in and do a bunch of stuff anyway.
Yeah, it's annoying for Joel, and usually I like to make Joel do things, but I try to also be nice every now and again.
Yeah, I'm still behind on other stuff. Yeah, so let's talk Righteous Deletion real quick because it took up 30 minutes because it's been 10 years and they did this one and. It's
been 10 years. It's not like they haven't done like other cinematic matches in those years.
How many deletion matches have there been? I was trying to figure this out on air last night. There's got to be at least one for every year at this point.
That might be a little bit much.
On average, because there was a point where they did them like twice in a year. How many Hardy's deletion matches have there been?
I feel like that might be a little much.
There's total nonstop deletion. There's delete or decay.
There's firm deletion. Remember that one?
Firm deletion. I barely remember that one.
There was the stuff with Bray. I don't remember what they called it, but that was some type of deletion, right?
Yeah. There's so much broken universe stuff. Too many is the answer. I mean, that's fair.
I don't know if there's like a full-on list of things.
They did at least 3 of them in TNA before this one, because they did the final. God damn it, I can't remember. There's been too many of them. Does Cage Match list the deletions? I guess we're gonna find out. Matt Hardy is who I'm gonna go to because he's always in these. Deletion, but then that's not gonna be so helpful. Righteous Deletion, Firm Deletion, the Elite Deletion.
There you go.
Full Gear 2020. The Ultimate Deletion, that was Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt. More final deletion stuff. Tag Team Apocalyptico, and then so there's been 9 according to Cage Match, but there's been a lot, and they've spanned multiple.
I think 9's probably about right. I didn't think it was 1 per year. That seems a little bit too high, but I think when you total up all cinematic matches, you could probably get there. But just the deletion stuff, I thought 1 per year was a little high. 9 seems about right, honestly.
Which averages to 1 per year.
No, it doesn't.
There's been this is the 10th year, so it averages to just under 1 per year.
Is it the 10th year?
This is the 10th year. 2016 was the first one in June of 2016.
Okay. Yeah. All right, then I guess it does average about one a year then.
Yeah. Ramos asking, can you call the final deletion matches stupid, Joel? No, I can't. As I said,
they are, but in the correct way.
Yeah, exactly. The original deletion match in 2016, like they did a really good job of promoting it and getting people to talk about it. They sent the screeners out to people of influence. They had them record their reactions. They gave an advance copy to as many people as they could to get them talking about the match so that they could hype it up when it aired. It was a good match for the time. It also wasn't very long. I think, like, I'm looking at Cage Match, it was only 10 minutes. So like it was paced in a way that like it worked for the time. It was a cinematic match, which only Lucha Underground was doing stuff like that at the time. And even then, it wasn't the matches that they were doing cinematically. They were doing the pre-tapes. They were doing the non-wrestling stuff. So that was kind of flipped on its head. It opened Matt Hardy up as a much more prevalent singles wrestling star than it had ever before at this point. It also opened him up as someone who had a different viewpoint on wrestling, which was something that was always true, but he was able to stand out. So, and Jeff is Jeff. Like, Jeff's always going to be popular. He's always going to be over, and he was always known as like the more popular Hardy, which I understand. So the final deletion did amazing things for the Hardy's career, especially for Matt. I will never take that away from them. Does it stand the test of time? Like I said last night, the the pandemic kind of not only added to the importance of cinematic matches and the way that Final Deletion would have shaped those, but also what would the Final Deletion look like if the pandemic hadn't happened? Would they still be taking influence from those matches? Would there be other cinematic matches? Would the deletion still be a thing? Like there are little things at play. However, this match at its time 10 years ago was very different. And in a good way, it was stupid. It was silly and it worked. You can argue that they've played it way too many times back, whether that was in WWE or AEW or back to TNA. They did it a bunch of times. But you know what? Just like in the 80s where you'd take a match and you'd run it across the territories, technically that's what they were doing with the Hardys, and it worked. So not all bad. They got to this match last night. I don't know if you have anything to add about the history of the deletions.
I like them. I mean, they're extremely my shit. And yes, Matt deserves credit for doing the cinematic kind of style. And then, of course, in the pandemic, it did become more prevalent. They kept doing it. Have they done too many? Maybe. Like it gets difficult to continue to reinvent every single time. And I think we kind of saw that with this one, where this didn't feel fresh to me.
It didn't feel fresh to me either. So let's talk about Righteous Deletion from last night. It was 20 minutes that felt like 30.
Yeah, it did feel pretty long.
It was. So again, this is why I'm torn on it. The end made sense for what they're doing next week on it.
I hated the ending.
And that's fair. The reason why I'm okay with the ending is because before we get into the meat of it, basically they do the lake of reincarnation, which is to be expected. They always fight into that and they make it a bit. The Hardys come out after being tossed into the lake of reincarnation. They come out as like the goats Hardys, right? They're wearing masks. And then Jeff Hardy takes off the mask and he's like, no, I need something different. And he goes back into the water and he comes back as his immortal Antichrist Jeff Hardy character. He does a swanton bomb off of a loader onto both Righteous members and pins them 1, 2, 3, and he wins the match. So Jeff Hardy wins the match. I said this a couple of weeks ago, and TNA has been promoting it. Next week is a live show, and they're going to do Nick Nemeth, who's the TNA World Champion, versus Jeff Hardy. So how do you make Jeff Hardy at all relevant? You do two things. One, give him his singles gimmick that got over in TNA for his heel persona, which I guess you're going to have to make him a babyface for this one because it's the Hardys and nostalgia. And two, you give him the win and you make it look, at least somewhat realistic that he can go in as this character and not just Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boy. So for that, I appreciated what they did. It's a low bar, but at least they did something to get you into it.
Here's why I hated this ending.
Nobody was killed.
True. Jeff looked so dumb just like climbing this loader here.
That's typical.
Like... He gets in there. It's a what? It's a backhoe, isn't it? And then what?
No, it's the front, so it's a loader. It's a
okay. Yeah. Is that what it's like legitimately called? Like a loader?
I think it's legitimately called a loader, or at least that type of vehicle is a loader.
Okay, sure. It looks so dumb because like he gets into it and he has to like lift it up and everything, and then he climbs out and he climbs to the roof and he climbs over the front end of it so he could stand in the big portion of it to jump off of it. Like, it's a cinematic match with a bunch of bullshit. Just teleport. Do a camera cut to where he teleports onto it.
Oh, buddy.
Because instead, he just looked silly climbing this thing.
Now, hold on. What's that? Jeff Hardy, it looks silly taking too long to climb something that he shouldn't climb in order to win a wrestling match? Is that what you're trying to say, Jeremy Lambert, who once told me that he should have climbed the stupid ladder in the Righteous Garden match?
Yes. That was a legit match. This is a bullshit magic match. Do some bullshit magic.
Get a lot of bullshit magic, but then they had to get serious, Jeremy, because Jeff Hardy is the #1 contender for the TNA World title somehow. We got to tell that story. He beat 2 men.
Okay, fine. Get serious. You can still win the match. I didn't care that he won. I expected him to win. Like, I didn't think they were going to beat the Hardys when Jeff has a world title match last week. That would seem a little counterproductive. But, I mean, maybe don't book Jeff in a world title match just because you need to try to pop some numbers for the live show.
Oh, yeah, brother.
But, maybe don't do that. But I expected the Hardys to win. on there. It just looks silly, him like just climbing it like that. I'm like, oh, where's the magic here? You kind of ruin the aesthetic of the whole thing when you have this 50-year-old just like daintily climb over the front end of the loader here. I was like, if I want to watch an old dude try to kill himself in construction equipment, I'll go to the construction site.
Go right outside my building.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to watch some wrestling bullshit here, and that's what we got. Yes, the poisonous flower ladder match was a legit match. It happened in a wrestling ring. That makes it legit.
Hell yeah. But yeah, the portals, they're teleporting, they're doing this was my one thing with these matches, is that you're introducing things that in canon cannot happen anywhere else. So suddenly Vincent has the ability to snap his fingers and make daylight, and he does in this match. But he can't do that in a wrestling match in the ring. The same thing with the teleportation. You can only do that on the Hardy compound, but you can't do it in the ring. But it would be great if you could, because then you could win a lot more matches. There are a lot of things about the Hardy compound stuff that it's so stupid, and you have to suspend your disbelief. But overall,
yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, what really not God to me, but was a real point of contention for me, was the acid trip they did with the Dutch getting drowned, and then they turned it into Vincent. He was basically him having a death dream where Vincent was dead, and then he checks on Vincent in the casket, and then Vincent wakes up and shoves Lily in the Valley into Dutch's mouth, and then the Hardys are celebrating with Dutch while he's dying, and then they roll him into the ring so that all of the Hardys' 50,000 kids can beat up on Dutch, including Revy, who's now one of the kids, I guess. She gets to hit a spot too and play her piano and all that stuff. And like it's well edited, it's well crafted. The opening was really weird because they did a lot of like non-linear jump cuts with the Righteous trying to get into the compound. It was very weird, just like hands reaching in weird different places. So like, again, not bad, just different. You really did have to suspend your disbelief. So not bad, was stupid in the good way, and just but it was really long. It was just like, now we're gonna double triple the original, because they keep getting a little bit longer. Believe it or not, the longest one was Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara, but that wasn't really cinematic as much as it was. They both went off of a scissor lift and got concussed.
Oh,
that was technically a deletion match.
Was it? I'm not counting that one.
Yeah,
because wasn't most of that done live?
I think so.
Yeah, I feel like most of that was done live. Yeah, well, that had a 10-minute delay to make sure Matt wasn't dead, so I don't know if we can count that one.
Oh, they counted in 1949. Either way, this is now the longest one. Tag team Apocalypto happened on the Hardy compound, but that doesn't count.
Why not? They were part of that. That was a deletion match. I guess that.
And that counts because that was 43 minutes.
Yeah, that one was very long.
Whew,
yeah.
Half an episode.
Yeah, that one was pretty long.
It was not a contract deletion match, I'll tell you that much, because I'm pretty sure the Righteous are still there. They get thrown into the Lake of Reincarnation at the end of this, and I'm wondering, like, what do they come back as? Because they've never been anything else.
They're gonna come back as just like nice office job men.
Nice Christian boys.
Yeah.
Good Christian boys. They're gonna call them Max and Jeremy.
Yeah, they're just gonna be good. They're gonna be, I was gonna say, Jehovah's Witnesses.
Dum. I knew what you were going for. They should come back as aces and eights.
That would actually be hilarious.
Oh, Foley would be like, I need to get back into the business, bro.
I don't need any of that, but yeah.
Anyway, yeah, the Righteous Deletion was different. It was silly. It wasn't terrible, but it insisted upon itself, as a Jeremy Lambert once told me.
Was stupid.
Oh, just wait until John Alva gets hold of this.
But in the best way. Again, it's extremely. I said it earlier. Oh, it's not like I'm saying anything different. It was stupid in the best way. It's supposed to be. I mean, I'm sure, people involved are like, it's not stupid, it's art, we put a lot into this, and I know they did. Like, I'm not going to pretend like they didn't. It takes a lot, I would imagine, to piece all of this together and put all of this together. You know, we had Marty Gardner on. Like, he talked about, because he was part of one, he talked about how much like goes into this thing with the production and everything. And it does. Like, I'm sure it's like at least a full day of filming, maybe even like 2 days of filming. Everyone who's done cinematic matches talks about, like, yeah, this is actually worse than doing an actual match, because you go out there, you do the match, it's over in 10 minutes, and that's that. These cinematic matches, it's a full day's work of everything. So a lot does go into that. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. The matches are silly, but they're designed to be silly.
Yeah, they were.
You can't tell me there's it's... I don't know if legitimate's the right word. You can't tell me it's silly to just stand there with firework guns, be like, hey, let's shoot each other now. Like, that's the dumbest shit ever.
It's the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah. But that's exactly what this match is supposed to be. It's hilarious.
You and Matt Hardy are next.
That's fine. I'll get Matt on the show and we'll hash this out. Like,
well, you know, how did that go?
What do you mean, how did that go? I don't know. We didn't try it last time.
We were working on other stuff. So still no rating for the best match in the world, eh?
He said there wasn't going to be. He said it was going to be next week, so I don't know why people...
Did he? Oh, he gave us a week-long head start. I know he said last week that he was going on vacation and doing stuff. Obviously, he was at CMLL. He was in the crowd and smiling politely. So,
yeah, he said it was going to be before SummerSlam. And
before SummerSlam?
Yeah.
And then SummerSlam's going to happen, and The Rock's going to come back, and he's going to have to decide Mercedes Moné versus Maya World once again.
Yeah.
The best bit in the entire business. It's going to be great.
Was TK Media Call the best one he's done? How do we get Chairman to take credit for it? It was on par with all the other... Like, he's not bad in the pre-show media calls. I think Tony's been doing well with the media call. I said this to him on the show. I said, the press conferences have been good. You guys have, like, cut those down a lot. I'm tired of the 40-minute waits. That's what's killing me now, because they're keeping the actual press conference to like an hour, which is fine. But if you tack on just a 40-minute wait on top of that, then it just becomes long, especially after a pay-per-view. So hopefully we don't have a 40-minute wait between the press conference and the end of the show on Sunday. We probably will.
Probably will. I'm going to have to sit there waiting.
Ask Tony, when you ask Tony a question, ask him, why did we have to wait 40 minutes? We went over this, Tony.
I have to play nice. What is my question for Tony Khan at this press conference?
I don't know.
Neither do I. What a coincidence.
We
ask about the rollout of the AEW podcast network now that WWE Radio has began, and we know that my AEW is supposed to be a hub for all things AEW and the internet, or the wrestling world.
You should read my entire 24-hour pitch to him and be like, Tony, this is from In the Weeds host Jeremy Lambert. I know you're a friend of the show.
Big fan too.
When he taught you everything you know about booking. Right. Here's his idea for the My AEW podcast network, and then read the whole thing and then be like, what do you think?
If anyone has an actual question that you think I should be asking Tony at the post Redemption pay-per-view press conference, let me know, and maybe I will incorporate it, because I don't know what we can ask at this point. There's nothing that's like burning a hole in our heads.
I think this would be a good question from Mikey V. Of, was there any thought into having, assuming Kenny and Kevin is the main event, was there any thought of having the women main event? Like, I can tell you what the answer is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I already know what the answer is gonna be.
But it's still a good question to ask. Like, Jensen tried to do this with me last night. He's like, he didn't say like, you should have asked this to Tony. He's like, I would have asked this, and then I just gave him the answer, and he's like, that was really good. I was like, yes, like, I can predict these answers, but you know, sometimes you still gotta like ask these questions.
The problem is, if I do this, I open the door to him recapping the entire feud and night to me.
That's true.
I'd like to get back to my hotel before 3 a.m.
That's actually fair. I can respect not wanting to do that.
Being asked if I can drop an interview that I think I'm dropping today at 2:30.
Oh, okay.
Or 12:30. Sorry. But yeah, who else is probably going to be part of this thing. I guess Willow will be part of it. At which point,
Tekla might win.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Willow, the question is very simple: the injury.
Yeah.
The injury and like what happened. What did you think it was going to be, and when was the turning point that you realized you were going to be back sooner than later? That's my main question. I don't really need to hear about how she's going to against Mercedes for a third time, and she's won already against her. Tekla, what's the Tekla question?
Rank these bitches by dumbness.
That seems awful.
I don't know. It's Tekla. Like she's gonna be. I mean, I'd say she's gonna be in character, but I'm pretty sure that's just like who she is. So I don't think there is any character there. But like you got to play into Tekla. That's the thing.
Yeah. And last time I asked her about the re-signing stuff, and she was pretty. She played both sides of it, and then Tony said nice things. So like that worked out. But yeah.
I don't know.
If anyone knows, and so that's again, as we talked about on this show, that's always the hard part about putting these together, is that you got to figure out who's going to do a character interview or character presser, and who's going to tone it down a bit. Will be one of those people on the presser because he is the number one contender. I doubt Kenny's going to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Kenny might. It's in Canada. He might want to take some questions.
No, I guess wins. He might actually want to. Yeah, because
he's gonna win. I mean, that's not a question.
He didn't do the other one.
Yeah, I think Kenny might.
All right. Well, we'll see. They'll probably have the conglomeration for no reason, even though they don't have a match right now.
They'll be on the pre-show, I assume. They'll be booked on 0 hour by the time we get to Sunday.
Jay White, so we can ask him, hey, what took so long?
I don't think Jay White's gonna the press conference.
We'll find out.
Maybe Speedball. If Speedball wins the ladder match, which I expect to happen, maybe.
Yeah, Speedball. When can we go have some poutine together? I don't know. Again, some of these questions are going to be asking at the show because they're going to play into whatever comes out of the night. I will not be asking Tomohiro Ishii a question because he won't be there, and well, he won't be there, so I can't do anything. I've got the Cope questions for when he never does these interviews, so he's on my list. But yeah, we'll play those by ear. It's always the TK question because there's always got to be something. We can't ask him about Sammy Guevara, Anna Jay, or Ty Mello anymore.
Yeah, shout out to whoever asked that question.
That was Dave.
Oh, was it? Okay. Shout out to Dave.
Took 3 times for Dave to finally
yeah.
But when he did, he asked probably the best question of the bunch. So
yeah, he did. He 100% did. Dave could have skipped this media call and watched Mercedes and Maya.
But instead, you know what? He did the right thing. He said all these people are coming up, free agents. And then he then said, well, what about Sammy? What about Ty? And what about Anna Jay? And all of a sudden it was like, let me reverse order that. And he went right into the more important answers, which were Sammy. Sammy never had AEW in his Twitter bio. And he contacted me and said, did I do something wrong, boss? And he felt bad, even though it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, I hate that when people, you see it in our chat, Jill. People are like, oh, this happened. I was like, okay, has it always been like this? Like, is this... So they'll I forget who it was. It might have been Punk or somebody. It was like when Punk was absent, but he was on a graphic for a show that he didn't ultimately appear on. Or Vecker was another one. She was on a graphic for a show that she didn't ultimately appear on because she's injured. And it's like, oh, Stephanie Vecker is being advertised for this show. And I'm like, when was this graphic released? When did they put this graphic out? And then you research it a little bit. It's like, oh, this graphic was released in January, and they've just had the same graphic since then. Obviously, she was fine in January. And it's like, you got to look at these things. So when people look at Sammy and it's like, oh, he removed AEW, it's like, well, was it ever there? Like, check this before we end up saying anything about it. And it turns out it doesn't seem like it was ever there. And people are just dumb with this stuff.
Yeah, and yesterday, the Bailey at the tryouts thing, people were all up in arms over that, and it was an old card, an old image, and now it's Ivy Nile on there because with the tryouts, On Location added a meet and greet, and it's Javon Evans, and
Natty.
the two talents were the three. I don't count Natty because I guess she's talent and coach in this case because I'm thinking LFG. Anyway, it was Javon Evans and Ivy Nile, but originally Bailey was there and Bailey was replaced by Ivy Nile. So people were like, "Oh my God, this adds to Bailey leaving," and it's like, did it, or was it like originally we promoted it as this and then we decided to go with someone else who was available? Like, we don't know. That's the thing. We just don't. Maybe Busted Open will tell us later.
I mean, it was, I don't know if it adds anything. It probably was supposed to be a Bailey at first, and then they were like, well, we kind of did this storyline. We don't know if Bailey's going to be part of the show. Let's do Ivy Nile. As we've seen with these graphics and everything, like, the graphics department's like the last to know this kind of stuff. What was the report a few weeks ago? It was like the graphics department is mad or upset that
marketing.
Well, marketing graphics, same thing. The marketing department was caught off guard by Sami Zayn winning. Like, they're the last to know this kind of stuff. They were using the graphic for Tonga Loa after he was released and stuff. They don't know anything. They're just trying to do what they can out here. They're like, this is what they were sent. This is what they have right now. Okay, this is what we're going to run. And until they get sent to something new, they ain't changing it.
Yeah, exactly. So, if you see something, ask questions first before you run with it. That's really do some research and search around for it. If you don't find it, just don't just run with it. We try not to make those mistakes. But anyway, so Dave asked the question and it was very simply said, Sammy's fine, not going anywhere. Anna Jay, I think did he say re-signed and also injury?
Yeah, re-signed. She extended her contract, where it was his exact wording.
So it's entirely possible that she has not re-signed and the contract has just been extended due to injury. Regardless, he said Anna Jay is still with the company. She's injured. And then with Ty Mello, this was the more newsworthy answer from the call. Ty did recently approach Tony about a release, and it wasn't back in 2025, according to Tony, that this happened. The conversation was more recent, and she said, she wants to step away from wrestling, and he's going to grant the release for Ty Mello. And so that's just, again, the transparency there is appreciated. It doesn't matter when the conversation happened or to what degree, but he's going to release her from her contract as requested, and that's going to be it for Ty Mello and AEW, at least for the time being. So that was again one of the more newsworthy parts of it.
I think it was the most newsworthy part.
It's fair. Thinking back to the rest of the questions, that's probably the one that stuck out to me the most. So I understand.
Yeah, I don't know what else. I mean, he gave an update on like Hangman and Swerve, but that was more just like stay tuned to the television type of thing than anything super noteworthy. But yeah, the stuff with Sammy, Ty, and Anna was by far the most noteworthy stuff.
Yeah. So otherwise, just a pretty paint by numbers media call. Not inoffensive, but not complete snorefest. A lot of people who couldn't work their microphones, though. God bless.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
I think it's also Cisco is just a terrible. WebEx is a terrible.
Yeah, there's always issues with that stuff, but what can you do?
Yeah, go back to using Zoom. No one should be using Zoom. So that was the call. What's next? Is there something else from yesterday that we need to get into? Oh, shout out, by the way, sorry, I will do a TNA talk real quick. Shout out to Casey Navarro and Nick Nemeth. They had a really, really, really good TNA world title match. The outcome was never in doubt, but Casey looked amazing. He's been on our show a few times, and we've always enjoyed having Casey Navarro pre-TNA when he would join us. I think when he was still with Warrior Wrestling, he was their champion, had the pink strap and all. But he went out, and despite honestly being a giant loser in TNA and not winning any matches lately, he did win this, or not win this one. He did look great in it, and Nick Nemeth made him look like $1 million as well. So shout out to them. It was a long main event. It was praised, rightfully so. And if you have time, go check it out.
Okay, I haven't watched it yet. I only watched the Righteous Deletion because that's more my style. Who could possibly care about in-ring wrestling?
Say nice things about Casey
wrestling. I like Casey Navarro. I think Nick Nemeth is a great wrestler too. So I don't have a problem with either. I heard it was really good. I will watch it. I've not seen it yet. I was watching The Ultimatum last night.
Fair. I see that people are mentioning Tony said he'd look into heels because the situation's rough. Yes, the heels thing is weird. We're not in a position to talk about it because we're not part of the club. And Tony also was like, I'm very hands off with heels. And I think the people in charge was, at one point it was Amanda Huber.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe that's your question at the press conference. Ask, did you get a chance to look into heels?
No, that's not my
Wow.
question.
Joel doesn't care about women. Write it down.
Listen, I'm not the one in charge of heels. There's actually someone that I might see this weekend who was involved with heels who could probably give me an update. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be getting the update from Tony on that. I think Tony very much was just like, sure, we'll look into it. Who was also like someone on the, you can like almost feel him looking over at the PR team being like, talk to Amanda.
Well, yeah, this is why you got to ask, you know, you got to get the follow up.
Yeah. Others are mentioning, the Wendy Chu and Elena Black went to a 10-minute draw. Did you know that there are time limit draws in the Knockouts TV title tournament?
Are all title matches going to be 10-minute time limit because it's a television title? That was the gimmick with the WCW television title, I believe. My memory serves.
It should be 6:05 is the time limit.
Well, that's just a speed match at that point.
Well, you know, if there's one thing TNA does, it's take from their partners.
Yeah.
Anyway, and Elena Black and Wendy Chu had a good match, mostly because Wendy Chu is a really good wrestler. They're turning Elena Black babyface. Well, you know, whatever. They're turning Elena Black babyface so she can face Xia Brookside at, I assume, Lockdown. So that's a thing they're doing. So both women got ousted from the tournament for being too good at fighting each other. That's what the time limit draw does.
All right.
That's all I have to do. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with heels and AEW heels for that, because I know Tony said he'll look into it and hopefully something comes of it, because people who were involved with heels enjoyed it. The people who were part of the program, they enjoyed the meetups and the events that they were doing. They haven't done one since April. We talked about this I think last week or a couple weeks ago, that it's been kind of off the radar. Emo Cracker. Her inset promo going into that match was god awful.
Drew saying, what about following up on Tony mentioning the Jim Crockett style tag tournament, especially with the free agents coming soon? That was the most, like, that's a good idea. I've thought about it. We'll think about it. And then he went into like praising ROH and then all the other tag teams and stuff. Anytime you ask Tony, have you thought about like doing this? Unless it's like the worst idea in the world, his answer is always going to be, that's a good idea. That's something we should think about. That's something I've thought about.
I love
whether or not it happens or not. It's a completely different story.
That's a great question. It's a great way for him to reset his brain so he can answer the question that he's prepared to answer.
Yeah, which is fair. Like, you know, he did that point. That's why I said I only ask great questions, Tony. And, you know, but yeah, Tony should call it the Jay Briscoe Invitational, and maybe he will.
I like that. That'd be a good, good memory. Good.
You know, Tony was asked forever about, have you thought about doing a women's tag team titles, some type of women's tag team tournament? And then finally he ended up doing it. But he's always asked about just different tournaments or different style matches or different titles. You know, the women's trios title was another thing at some point that people were asked about. And it's always like, that's a great idea type of thing. Like that's always what you're going to get when you ask those types of questions. And then he'll go on and he'll praise the great roster.
Louis mentioning the Crockett Cup exists. Yes, it does. It's time to participate in the Crockett Cup with Billy. The AEW NWA Crockett Cup. There was asking if he'll buy TNA for 30 every month.
I was hoping just lower the price every single time. I was hoping someone would do that.
Every month it's Brandon Thurston just being like, Tony, Brandon Thurston, would you buy TNA for 30 million? No. Next month, Tony, Brandon Thurston, would you buy TNA for 20 million? Nope. And then finally, 10 million? I'll think about it.
I was hoping Brandon would show up on this call and ask that, but
it'd be too easy. Cyclops better than Wolverine saying, Jeremy, why do you hate Tony Khan in ROH?
Let's not put out there that I hate Tony. I mean, that's not nice. ROH different, you know. No. I know Cyclops better than Wolverine is doing a bit. We love Tony. Friend of the show, Tony Khan.
That's true. Best friend of the show.
Yeah.
Such a best friend that eventually he is going to co-opt us and take us over. Oh, sorry. Where did that come from? I don't know where this is coming from. Very strange that this thing keeps popping up on our screen. Anyway, so that was the Tony Khan media call, and Redemption is this weekend on Sunday, and there's plenty of stuff going on in Montreal this weekend. I'm going to go try to see when is the Weird Al concert, because I would love to see Weird Al in Montreal.
No idea.
I don't know what time it is. It's Saturday at 9:00. I'm supposed to be at Mystery Wrestling at that point. Where is it? Oh, Place de Festival. How far is it from where I'm supposed to be? because that would be nice if I could go to both. Would you like to go see Weird Al with me?
I would, but I'm not going to Montreal.
Come to Montreal. It's a free concert. You can sleep in the presumed other bed.
Okay.
That I have. There you go. Okay, it's 18 minutes from the venue that I'm seeing Mystery at. I could do it. I can go to both.
Okay.
That's the plan. We'll see. What's next? ITW sponsored by AEW. Should we get into to the topic?
Yeah.
So, the announcement came yesterday. SiriusXM and WWE are coming together to form WWE Radio. I know you and SP3 touched on it yesterday a bit. This is basically WWE enveloping Pro Wrestling Nation, which is a channel that currently exists on SiriusXM that is part of the Busted Open kind of world that they have there. Dave LaGreca had put together and pitched the Pro Wrestling Nation channel. It took over for, what was it called? Fight Nation before that?
Yeah, Fight Nation.
That was the former MMA, WWE, former Pro Wrestling and MMA and boxing channel, and now they took it over. It was Pro Wrestling. Then yesterday they announced WWE Radio, not to be confused with Radio WWF from the 1990s. This is going to be a lot like WWF Radio from the 90s in that there will be play-by-play for Raw, SmackDown, and SummerSlam. We got to talk about that real quick. Booker T and Vic Joseph doing SummerSlam audio play-by-play. There is nothing in this world I can think of wanting to do less than listen to a robot and a gooner call the action. If I wanted to do that, there are plenty of YouTube streams that I could watch who are doing live reacts to SummerSlam. That part sounds awful. But also involved with that is the envelopment of the Pro Wrestling Nation channel, which includes Busted Open and all of its side quests. Now, it's kind of joined into a larger conversation that got a little bit worse when Dave LaGreca promoted WWE Radio is coming to Sirius. Because we know that Busted Open has been very kind and with WWE for a long time, that they have worked a lot with WWE on projects and programming. Sam Roberts being someone who does a WWE post Raw show who's official for the channel. They've done stuff at Fanatics Fest under the SiriusXM banner, but also friendly with a lot of WWE stars. Once upon a time, Busted Open would have Tony Khan every single week to preview Dynamite, and then that ended. So it became much more WWE oriented. Busted Open After Dark frequently includes interviews with NXT talent, courtesy of Billy Ray at the time, Bubba Ray, whatever he is now, because he's also part of the LFG lineup. He's one of the coaches. So he's been on the show, and he's also part of Busted Open. And a lot of people saw Dave's video that, as I kind of parodied earlier, he said effectively, nothing's going to change. Something's going to change. That is the reality of it. Because as you've seen with ESPN and WWE, that the moment something dissenting happens in your company or in the viewpoint of your company, and someone talks about it in an official capacity for your partnering agency, for whatever you want to call it, journalism, or if you want to call it reporting, if you want to call it entertainment, outside commentary, someone usually gets a little hurt out of that. Maybe it's a letter grade. Looking at Andreas Hale when he gave poor letter grades. What happened after that? He was put on ice effectively by WWE. You didn't really hear much from him. He did other articles, he did other reporting, but you didn't hear from him as prolifically as you did. And with Busted Open now, they're saying they're still going to talk about everything they usually talk about, but I can almost guarantee you that the second one of them says something dissenting about WWE, they certainly won't talk about, lawsuits or anything like that. But the second that they go,
they barely did that anyway.
That's fair. The second that they go the direction of speaking ill about a storyline, who's going to step in and be like, hey guys, can you be a little kinder to this? Maybe show another direction or another viewpoint of it so that fans don't get upset with you, or we have to do something. That will come in. There will be changes, despite what we're being told. And I know people are going to be like, you're just dooming and glooming them. They're making enough money they can doom and gloom themselves. But when a company that runs the program that you're talking about gets involved and gets a say and a large stake in the say, because they are bigger than you. Busted Open is smaller than WWE, who are working with SiriusXM and are being paid a hell of a lot more by SiriusXM to be the partner than Busted Open is making for SiriusXM. They are stuck Busted Open is stuck. They have to listen to their masters, and right now their masters are of influence from WWE Radio and the people involved with it. And it sucks because Busted Open was not always a bad radio show. We praised it in a lot of ways, but it's clear that this is the direction they want to go. They're very happy with the money that they're going to be making from it, and that's how it is. A lot of people have already come out in the comments and said, "You're going to change. We don't like this." I don't know what they were listening to that made them feel like they were ever much different than they are now, but this is where we're at. WWE Radio has come to SiriusXM, and it replaces Pro Wrestling Nation.
Real quickly on the Thunder Rosa stuff. I don't think Thunder Rosa's been on the show for a while. I don't think her exit has anything to do with the WWE Radio stuff. I'll go back and check here in a second when the last time Thunder Rosa was on. It's been a hot minute since Rosa was on, and she, like, the regular appearances weren't really happening anymore. When it was Dave's birthday, I don't know when that was. I don't know when Dave LaGreca's birthday is. Thank you. I don't know when Dave LaGreca's birthday was, but if that was the last time she was on, that I think that was a one-off appearance. Again, I don't think she had been doing like her weekly segments anymore the way, she was not even a weekly segment. She was like a weekly host. I was saying it was last week, but when was the time before that where it wasn't Dave's birthday, when it was, hey, let me show up to say hi to Dave LaGreca on his birthday? I feel like, go ahead.
On socials, the last thing I see is stuff from May of last year. That doesn't mean it wasn't, she's not active on socials. I'm just like, I don't know when the last time was. Because she does a lot of her vlog work.
Yeah, I just think she wasn't doing her weekly stuff anymore. She used to be on the Coach Show. Okay. I didn't follow it too closely. I just know I used to cover the Thunder Rosa stuff because, she was on AEW television a whole lot more than she is now, so she had more to say. Now there's kind of less to say. I just don't think she was like a weekly part of things anymore, like the way she used to be. Now maybe she's not going to be on the show at all. It's very easy to draw conclusions of, oh, well, now they're WWE Radio, so of course Thunder Rosa is not going to be there. I just believe she was already kind of being phased down on things. And this might have been the catalyst of like, okay, well, now it's pretty easy to say, hey, you're gone off of this. So yeah, not on Busted Open proper for a while. Yeah, it's just, I just don't think she'd been there for a while. The rest of it, of course, things are going to change. Like, let's not pretend otherwise. Andreas did one letter grade review for ESPN, and they didn't like the letter grade, and so that was the end of the letter grades. And then his credential was denied, even though ESPN is a partner of WWE. Like, how are you going to deny a credential of somebody who works for the platform that is airing this pay-per-view? Like, what? It's going to change. I don't listen to, Andreas did do the Janelle Grant lawsuit, but that's the whole point of, it wasn't just the letter grade. Andreas covered something that they probably didn't want covered, and so it got pulled. That's why I don't think Busted Open was ever doing like kind of coverage of the lawsuit and everything. If they did, I certainly didn't see it. Granted, I only listen to the show when there's like an interview. I don't listen to their talking segments and everything. I do not care about their opinions. I think they do fairly decent interviews, so I listened to those. I don't know how much they covered the lawsuit. It didn't seem like it was a lot. Like, you never heard about it anyway. So they're going to continue to cover WWE in a positive light. I don't know what it means for the changes as far as covering other promotions. You're probably not going to see too much about it, honestly. I think Denise will be kind of a big domino because I don't know where Denise, this is a question for Denise, but, and I say domino is just as like Mark Henry, Tommy Dreamer, but all the ex like wrestlers are obviously going to be fine with this. Denise doesn't need to do that. Denise is just kind of unbiased media. She gives her opinion on things. She did a 30-minute Raw review because the show wasn't all that great this week. Also, she does the
people try to give me shit, by the way, for doing.
She does a watch along though.
No. Because so people were just like, you went 45 on your Raw review, and you know what? Alex and Sean went 45 on their AEW Dynamite review. So screw you, people who are just like,
everybody who covers wrestling hates wrestling.
It's true. This is why we're absolutely sorted out to be the next great wrestling podcast.
Yeah. So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with Denise, and if she's like, yeah, I'm done. Like I can't continue with this, knowing that my coverage is going to have to change, because she does the post TNA show, I believe, on.
I don't know if she still does.
Oh, okay, I have no idea.
I don't see her promoting it as much. I've seen Tommy doing it, which is hilarious. I've seen the Tommy do it. I've seen Bubba do it. So I don't know if she's still doing it. And right now, Denise has been at San Diego Comic-Con for the last few. So, yeah.
And look, maybe Denise stays. Maybe Denise is like, yeah, sure, I just won't say anything about AEW on the show, and then I'll do my AEW stuff on my YouTube channel, which is completely fair. I don't know when it comes to Denise, and if she's going to be told something, if she's going to decide to change things up. No idea. That's Denise's decision to make. I know she just extended her contract with Busted Open or SiriusXM or Fight Nation or Pro Wrestling Nation not too long ago. But yeah, we shall see when it comes to Denise, and whatever Denise does. Like I'm gonna support Denise Salcedo when it comes to that. Look, it's gonna change. For WWE, I'm not gonna pretend like this isn't a smart move by them. Right. Like, they are once again controlling how the media gets out there, how the coverage gets out there. SiriusXM's a huge platform, like a huge platform. Like, most cars come equipped with SiriusXM. Now, granted, you gotta still pay a subscription for it, but most cars come equipped with SiriusXM. I have it, and I use it fairly regularly, and mainly to listen to sports talk. But now you're gonna see, as you're scrolling, like, oh, MLB Network, MLB Radio, NHL Radio, NFL Radio, WWE Radio. Like, it's gonna be there. Maybe people turn it on. Maybe they find this is how you get new fans and get in the door and everything. Like, I don't know. But they want to just continue to push how the stories get out there, and this is another way for them to do it. It's why they partnered with like Front Office Sports and everything. They want to push the stories out there how they can, because it's all coverage to them. And if somebody scrolls through and finds this channel on SiriusXM, and that makes them a new fan, then they've created a new fan out of this. And that's all they care. They care about just getting some type of coverage. That's why they bring in all these celebrities. That's why you see them using all these influencers and everything. It's like, how can we get eyeballs and now ears on the product in some way? And they want to be a 24/7 content factory. That's who they've been for a while now. Like, how can we have content 24/7? This is another way for them to have 24/7 content.
Yeah, and they're gonna have, again, some of the stuff that they're bringing in is not bad. If you want the audio commentary or Raw, SmackDown, PLE, whatever, that's fine. You have the choice whether you want to listen to that. They're doing a value added to their content, which, like, totally up to them. As Jeremy said, you said this is the smart thing to do in being able to control the coverage and control the information. The reality is, smaller independent media, us, post wrestling, whoever you want to, observer, whoever, we're still going to get that info out there. We're still going to get the info that we receive and we report on, and nothing's going to change. Nothing should change. That's independent media. But the co-option of media is very clearly a larger problem outside of pro wrestling. You've seen it. But pro wrestling always ends up being like the latest and loudest when it comes to joining in on something. And this is just another case of WWE radio, just like NFL radio, just like NHL radio, as you mentioned. People will understand what these actually are. But in the NHL, I mean, you're just getting hockey games, but you're also getting commentary. My point is kind of like WWE's doing the audio presentation of their shows. It's just like tuning into NHL radio and getting the game of the night on play-by-play.
Sure. But I mean, there's still like content on the channel 24/7. There's still like news shows and stuff.
No, I know. I'm saying you get what WWE has done is that they're taking that approach where they have the commentary, but then the show commentary, but then they also have the commentary of the commentary later on. So they're doing the same thing that all the others have done when it comes to full network 24/7 radios.
The difference between, in some ways, because I'm not going to pretend like major sports media coverage is great or anything, but the alleged, the should be difference is NHL radio. If there's a scandal, if there's a player who has done something wrong and has got to be suspended for this, it's supposed to be covered. Like it's supposed to be. You're supposed to talk about that on NHL or NBA radio, right? Where on WWE radio, if there is a scandal or something, I don't know how much coverage that's going to get, unless it is kind of put out by WWE. Like I just do not know. Like the NBA, they're covering the Kawhi Leonard stuff, the investigation and everything. Like, it's being covered because it does affect Kawhi, it does affect the Clippers, especially with them trying to make the trade to Toronto. It affects all of that. Yep. So, like, you have to cover it. Is that on the same level of a shareholder lawsuit? I don't know. You know, I think it should be because it's all news relevant to the company. The company's named in the lawsuit, so you probably should have some type of coverage on it. Yeah, a player gets arrested, you cover the arrest. If a wrestler gets arrested, are we going to cover that? I don't know. Not we, but but
yeah. What
WWE Radio. Like, are they going to talk? I just don't know. Like, that's the difference. Is this stuff should be covered, and it might not be. Now, it has swung the other way in major sports media to where sometimes there are big stories and like they don't really dedicate the coverage to that. The Vrabel stuff was a touchy subject when it came to that, and a lot of people stayed away from it, and then there were some that didn't stay away from it. I think there's a way to cover these topics without being insensitive to the topic. And instead, people just don't bother to cover the topic. Like, there's a way to cover the Vrabel Rossini stuff without making it this big scandalous thing and diving into that, and you just cover the news portion of that whole thing. You just cover how it affects the Patriots, how it affects Vrabel. You just cover how it affects like the sports portion of things.
It's the same thing with a player arrest. How does it affect the team? How does it affect the player? Does it take them out? Like, there are ways to cover the angles.
Yeah. Or you could just ignore it. Like,
but that's the whole thing, is that it shouldn't be ignored because it still plays into, like, this was maybe 5 years ago. Yeah, it was. One of the Usos gets arrested on a DUI, and then the next week they win the tag titles. And it was just like, why are it was like, why are we, like, it sends the wrong message. And you can't cover up everything when you're trying to tell your stories. When something in real life happens, you can't just turn a blind eye to, but they're getting the tag titles and we got to tell that story. It's like, you can punish somebody maybe wait a little bit, or say, Jay's been fine. I forget which Uso it is. My mistake. I'm not going to say Jay or Jimmy because I do not remember. This Uso has been fined X amount of money. They are doing a program, and they will continue to perform on WWE programming. It's as easy as that. And then at least you talked about the reality of it. Instead, if you block out what happened and you just go on being completely ignored as to what this does for their on-camera appearance, this is, then they win the tag titles. It's like, well, this just looks bad. And this is what we're looking at again with this WWE radio and the co-opted media, is that don't talk about it because it's going to negatively affect our stories on TV. And it's like, well, no, they won't, because there are other angles to take from it. Nothing should be all doom and gloom. Like, there are better ways to talk about certain situations. Now, in the case of Vince McMahon and lawsuits, there's no other way to look at it right now. It was exactly the way it looked, and it was exactly the way it should have been discussed. And now that story is basically over for the time being, as they went into private arbitration. So nothing is likely to get out until after everything is said and done, and we just know it's over. Whether or not terms include being able to report on that is a whole other can of worms. But I mean, who's not going to talk about it? And that's the people at the new WWE Radio.
Okay, maybe they will. We don't know. I think we can easily predict, but I'd like to be a little bit fair to them and say maybe they'll talk about certain things. The fact that
it's 2 a.m. on a Monday morning, they will talk about AEW for 10 minutes.
And the fact that they weren't really talking about certain things beforehand makes me believe, they're probably not going to mention some stuff. Will they cover AEW? I don't know. I think they'd be stupid not to, honestly.
I mean, it's going to cut off some of their fan base. So I sent you an SP3. This is widely available, so I'm not really talking out of school. I sent you an SP3, the demos, according to SiriusXM Radio for Busted Open. I'll pull it open real quick so that everyone can see it. Because again, not talking out of school. It is on there. It's on the SiriusXM Media website. And I'm going to reject cookies because I'm not a monster. So if you want to advertise on their podcast, who listens to Busted Open? Keep in mind that this is Sirius Radio, so you have to pay for a subscription. I don't expect 18 to 24-year-olds, but 35% of their age median is 45 to 54. It's quite a bit older than us. And then our median age is probably closer to 35, 44. They're 25%. Whole lot of white people watching their show. Why am I bringing this all up is because this is probably close to what WWE's makeup fandom is as well. A whole lot more skewing towards males, 84%, women, 16%. This was interesting. Household income reported. Under 50K, 18%. Above 150K, 21%. Right in the middle, 75 to 100 is 18%. So right kind of matchy is like the low, the high, and the medium income. They're all kind of similar. I found that was interesting. And then high school level is the winner for them. That's the highest, is 33%. Are they parents? Yes and no. Yes, 36%. This surprised me, by the way, that there weren't a lot of parents listening to Busted Open. So there you go. And then 64% on the no. I bring this up because, again, if this is an indicator at all as to what WWE's demographics are like, even though they like to tell you how ethnically diverse they are, and this all kind of, I want to see what this looks like in about a year, if this changes at all with the WWE Radio. But I think they'll stick with what they got, talking about WWE mostly. I don't think they're going to do, I think they'll give you maybe a month of talking about AEW for a little bit, just to be like, hey, look at us, we still talk about everybody. Or they'll talk about TNA a bunch because partnership, and then eventually everything will kind of get curved down, and they won't be talking about either of them until someone brings it up as a big push. That's my feeling.
It's going to be hilarious on Monday when this rebrand starts, and they're like, anyway, Raw tonight, look at this show. They're just not going to mention the AEW pay-per-view at all.
So that's the thing. They're going to talk about it. They will absolutely talk about Redemption because they don't want to make it look like they're completely not allowed to do it. And if they did that, then that's awful. They're going to get a lot of eyes or ears on their show, people wondering what's gonna, are you gonna talk about it? And there was somebody earlier, it was Sask Riders, who said that right now they're doing, this is their Falls Count Anywhere day where people call in, but so far they didn't answer any phones, undoubtedly because it's going to be all hate calls. And like, maybe that's true, but also I'm curious to see if they end up taking any calls and if they're really screening the calls, because that's the difference between us and Busted Open, is that they have producers, they have people who are scanning the phone lines, who are asking questions to make sure that they can clear the phones to get on. It's not just like, hey caller, what's your name, and you just called in. No, you have to be vetted before they let you in. So the implementation will come slowly. It'll be a quick change to WWE programming, but the Busted Open stuff is going to be just piece by piece, 100%. Someone asking, do you think MJF calls in again? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. He likes to rabble rouse. He likes to be a shit disturber. But will it be useful? I don't know. It's up to him. It's amazing that like years ago, Helwani and TK had that little beef in 2023, and since then, you know, AEW wrestlers have been on Helwani's Uncrowned show a bunch, and
Tony's been on.
Tony as well. So it's just funny to watch how things can shift so quickly. Because again, Tony used to do Busted Open, and it was a weekly call, and that's ended. That's over. They don't really have many AEW. They have AEW wrestlers on the show, or at least they used to. Just it was
Jim Ross was just on the show, and then he's like, Busted Open only covers WWE, and then a day later, WWE Radio was announced.
I'm curious. Did you listen to the JR interview?
No.
On Busted Open?
No.
I'm really curious as to what the questions were like. Did they ask him about AEW, or did they stick to just his time in the territories all the way up to 2012?
Right.
Because that would be telling.
No, they didn't post that one. Like, you had to listen through the app, like, which I have. Like, I could listen to the full replay. I didn't get around to it because I prefer to listen to what they post. What they post on their podcast, just easier for me. But they didn't post that one. So yeah. They've shortened their podcast so much though. Like, it's a 3-hour show and they cut it down to like 30 minutes.
Do they really? I didn't know. Jeez.
Yeah, they like really, really cut their podcast down, and I don't know if that's gonna change with this. I have no idea what's gonna happen with all of that, but
we'll find out. But like I said, I don't expect huge sweeping changes immediately, other than the WWE implementation. But Busted Open, they've already been very WWE skewered for a while, so that part shouldn't shock anyone. If they just start phasing out AEW talk altogether, unless it's negative AEW talk, that's going to be telling. So regardless, AEW, they've got plenty of people who want to talk about them for better or worse, and WWE has plenty of people who want to talk about them for better or worse, and that's going to continue. Nothing's going to change. They just now have their own SiriusXM channel, and they found the farthest reaching place that they could do it. So if it works for them, then that's what it is.
Is what it is, Izzy Dame.
It is what it is. Izzy Dame. Who keeps putting that up there? Stop it. Listen, can we be bought? Depends. Can we still talk about other stuff on the? Can we still play video games on our streams if we get bought out? That's the only question we need.
Can we play what?
Video games or any of the other games you like to play. Six Rings.
I assume we could probably play that stuff. I mean, on the 24/7 AEW network, I have the show 5-Star Booker with Will Washington and guests.
Okay.
Yeah, that airs at 5 a.m.
AEW purchased ITW and Comptroll Pearl a copy of Fight. You know what? I can be bought. Yeah. And right now, and I don't even know how much it is, but let's say it's $40. $40. I'll do it. Do it. I will give you $10,000 right now. For what? What will you give?
Oh,
this is Lawrence.
Oh, Lawrence isn't going to actually do any of that.
I know he doesn't have $10,000 to his name, but I'm going to see him this weekend, so maybe I can shake it out of him. I'm curious about what the AEW Podcast Network would look like at this.
It's been like they announced this a while ago, and there's been like no traction on it. This is why I need the pencil for it.
It came out with my AEW at the time, and it really did feel like they were going to do a slower rollout, or at least they were going to figure out what, not incentivized, what was basically find order of importance, and clearly putting the live TV shows and the pay-per-views up on the platform, that should be number one. They stopped Unrestricted at the same time that they announced My AEW because they announced the podcast network, presumably so that they could start working on new podcast content. I don't know who, what, when, where, why is going to do stuff. I assume Matt Camp is one of the people who would do an AEW podcast because he works for the company right now, as far as I understand it. But he does content for them already. So but that's just another person who has broadcast experience. RJ City doing a podcast would be great. I don't trust that he would, but I think he would be great.
He's doing early morning with RJ City at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, that's what you got him doing?
Or maybe 1 a.m. I'd have to recheck my schedule.
That sounds awful. How could you do that to RJ?
Let me look at my... Yeah, it's 1 a.m. early morning with RJ City.
That's so mean. What did RJ do to you?
I feel like that's the right time for an RJ City show, 1 a.m. Wow. He can be like 100% RJ City at 1 a.m.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Will and Aubrey could bring back Unrestricted. However,
I did not have Unrestricted on my list for my 24-hour programming, even though I probably should and could have it there. I was trying to create new content, although I did bring back Oral Sessions because I thought that show was great.
That's true. She should be there. You bring back, and it should be with Mox as co-host.
Well, it's at 3 a.m. It follows RJ City. So RJ's opening for Renee.
Why would you do this to our friend RJ City?
I think it's just funny, There's a lot of Easter eggs in my list here for my network. Way too much thought went into putting this thing together.
Sure I'm so sure of it.
Yeah, way too much thought went into it. But I'm an ideas person.
You are, for better or worse. You are an ideas person. I'm curious about it because I think at one point they may have reached out or may have considered reaching out to Connie for podcast stuff. Because a bunch of AEW talent on his podcast network between Jeff Jarrett, JR, Tony Schiavone. Yeah. Who am I missing? Taz at one point used to have a podcast. Remember, he did one every single day for
His was good. Yeah, I like Taz Radio. I don't think it was called that, but I liked his show.
How can Matt Camp have time to do a podcast when he has to write 3 paragraphs for wrestling action segments? He can read it, as I've discovered. You can read these things on the internet instead and just do perfectly well. Someone saying that's a serious question. Ask Tony Khan in light of what WWE did if they have announcements on the AEW podcast network. That's in my list of stuff. If somebody asks the other question that we just thought about, which was the Tekla and Willow main event, if somebody asks about that before I can get to it, then I might just ask about the AEW podcast network.
Ask when I'm getting the pencil for the AEW podcast network.
That'll be my follow-up just for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Jeremy is the program director. As long as they pay him, I'm fine with it.
I mean, I would like to get paid, but... Well, ITW's on the network. We're actually a 3-hour show on the My AEW podcast network.
Fine.
We're 9 to 12.
Do I get paid well?
You get paid.
Do I get paid well?
You don't have to do it. SP3 and I will do it for 5 days a week.
I will feign kindness if I get paid well.
You don't have to do it, Joel. I'm not forcing you to do anything here.
I will feign interest if I get paid well.
I'm factoring in, there's going to be commercials on here too.
We don't know about that.
Well, I was factoring it in, but we're doing 3 hours when we move to the AEW, My AEW podcast network.
All right.
Yeah, we're 9 to 12. We're directly against Busted Open.
I mean, that would be very funny. You should do it.
Bryan Danielson follows us at noon. We're curtain jerking for Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson does not have his topic. He just gets to be Bryan Danielson for an hour.
Yeah, it's one of his kids is always one of the
That's fair. I don't care what Bryan Danielson does. He's Bryan Danielson.
I get it. He's fine. Do we have to abandon WWE talk? Well,
on the My AEW podcast network, I would 100% abandon WWE talk. I barely want to talk about it now.
We wouldn't abandon WWE talk. We would only talk about WWE ID.
No, I'd abandon WWE talk.
All right, that's fine.
Just all of it.
All right, that's fine. Why are you showing your bias, Jeremy? Gosh.
If you're going to put me on the My AEW podcast platform, I'll talk about only AEW and how great things are in AEW. I would never talk about WWE.
Okay, so real talk, though, if... This is very pie in the sky. I am very much shooting hypotheticals. If something like this were to happen and we were brought into a podcast network like this, I would want to still be able to have criticisms of the show. Not specifically creative criticisms. And I think that that's warranted if you want to have at least a little bit of transparency. I want people to be able to trust that what we're talking about is not just all super duper happy. If something isn't great, we should be able to talk about it in a way that doesn't disparage the people, but also still entertains. And I think that there's a way to do that. And I think that that is a way of, again, showing transparency and also just showing your audience that as much as we are a part of a platform like this, we're still true to our own fandom or our own interest. And I think that's something that we should be able to get in a negotiation like that. And again, this isn't happening. This is all completely in our own brains, but that is what I'm saying.
I think Tony would actually be open to
legitimate
true criticisms of the show.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, I think he would. Although he did call me out on my coverage of AEW after I didn't get a Bryan Danielson T-shirt.
Well, he asked if you would give favorable coverage if you sent one. If he was sent one. So now you don't know how, you don't know when that thing's going to show up on your doorstep, and you're going to be like, "How did he have my address?"
This is a warehouse of things over here.
He's going to show up at your door with
he better give you the glasses. You better give you the glasses, you know?
I gotta do something about that. There you go. Cyclops is better than Wolverine. Jeremy doing a 3-hour show only on the ROH tag division.
Kemi has the ROH Peer Hour.
Yep.
So she has her own show on there. I mislabeled it as the Power Hour. That's copyrighted by NWA. It's the ROH Peer Hour. Yeah, she actually opens for us. She's on from 8 to 9 on the My AEW podcast platform.
Yeah, there you go. The only restriction I've seen so far is when Adam said no licensed music. That's true. Talking about Orange Crush. Yeah. Restrictions on My AEW. That's the only restriction we've had so far. And someone in the chat, if you rewind a bit, asking about talking about backstage controversies. Busted Open doesn't talk about that already. So there's no real change for them.
LeBron James is signing with the Philadelphia 76ers. Wow.
You had Philly.
Wow.
Okay. Who's excited for that?
Wow. Philly was the kind of
2 years, $8 million with a player option.
Yeah, that checks out for him. He typically does the option year, second year. Philadelphia. Okay. All right.
We already got him in the Sixers jersey in that photo.
Well, yeah. Yeah, he tipped us off with that process. I mean, LeBron always just like plays games when it comes to that. But now, of course, everybody's going to look at it of like, oh, it's the process. Oh, man, Philly. Like, I'm glad he's going east. I'm glad he's not staying, well, although the West team seemed to be like it was going to be the Warriors, which, fine. That's a weird lineup. It's going to be good. They're going to be a good team. All right.
Good for him.
I'm not sure if it's like quite ring chasing. I mean, are you really ring chasing if you're going to Philly? Like,
well, maybe Liberty Bell chasing.
$8 million over 2 years. Why is that you? Like, he was always gonna sign a short deal. It was never gonna, or it's always gonna be less money. It's not like Philly's got a ton of cap space. Like, they got Embiid on a huge contract. Maxi's on a big contract. Jaylen Brown's on a huge contract. Like, wherever he went, it was going to be short money. 2 years
was going to be a quick one. He said he'd take the lowest, right?
Yeah, he said he was always going to have to take less money to join any of these teams that he wanted to join. 2 years it's a player option on the second year, so it's really a 1-year deal, and then he controls what he wants to do for the second year because he can opt out, and then we do this process again next year. Or he can opt back in and stay for another year. But it's just Ewing Philly. Okay, fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
No one goes to Philly.
I was not expecting. I thought it was gonna be Cleveland. I'll be completely honest.
Next on the road trip, he's gonna do 1 year and then decide he's gonna hang it up and goes to Cleveland for that year.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Cleveland. LeBron. Here was his statement of things. I'm just kind of reading through it. This is my last decision. I'm not going for money. I'm not going for family. What I'm really playing for, I still want to sacrifice. I still want to work. I still want to grind. I still want to compete and win and have the chance of feeling of winning another championship. I believe I can make...
Me when I leave Fightful. Go ahead.
I was reading LeBron's statement because he's going to Philly.
Is he?
Yes.
What did you just find out? This is great. I thought you were reacting to the news to come here.
No.
Yeah, LeBron's going to Philly.
Vinny Pacifico dropping massive news on me and then saying, "Hey, are you going to be in Oregon this weekend?"
Are you?
Is anyone going to be?
Are you?
I've never been to Oregon in my life. I was like, Vinny, what a wild thing to ask me.
Who willingly goes to Oregon?
He dropped the massive news at the wrong time because LeBron just dropped his news.
Unless the massive news was the LeBron news that he dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At which point, good on Vinny. He had the news before everyone else.
Philly's kind of in. I'm still kind of in shock that it's Philly.
Maybe it's not so bad. I won't be in Philly as much now. Things are about to get really expensive there.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. Like Philly was the last team I kind of thought he was gonna go to. Oh, all right. That's kind of insane. How are you, Sean?
I'm getting the team to draw up LeBron Philly graphics. Damn. I'm good. Kate is in town. She is like literally a few miles away. We're going to Dream Pro Wrestling tonight.
Nice.
Very excited about that. It's a benefit for Rebel and more specifically the ALS things. I'm pretty sure Tony's just taking care of all of Rebel's stuff. But yeah, that'll be fun. Of course, we got AEW Redemption this weekend. I'm working on the I called it the debunkathon. I got to be honest with you. Like there's not a lot of like debunkable news these days.
It's called the odds and sods.
What is it?
It's called the odds and sods.
Yeah, there you go. Jimmy Van's birthday is today.
Oh, happy birthday, Jimmy. He doesn't watch the show.
Yeah, he definitely does not watch
Thank
the
God.
show. Thank God.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good time. Oh, well, I just found one. Go figure. Facebook is running rampant with. Yeah, let me just show you.
This is going to be great.
I'm going to write an article. LeBron James joins wrestling fan Joel Embiid in Philadelphia.
Like, I mean, the fact that these are so easy for them to produce is honestly kind of impressive. But like, let's see. This is the type of thing that I got to debunk on Facebook. Where the hell is? Oh, there it is. Enjoy.
That's okay, sure.
That rules.
Vince McMahon throwing up the ones.
Yeah.
That's incredibly stupid.
Oh yeah, remarkably stupid.
Yeah. All right, sure.
Yep. Well, there we go. But we're gonna have a Scoops thread Sunday. Obviously, I'm gonna have Fightful Select.
We'll have lots of coverage from AEW Redemption. I will be there. Asking the questions and giving you the live in-person content. So enjoy that.
Yeah.
Asking Tony Khan about I don't know what yet. When he's going to co-opt us. That's right. Yeah, that's right. You walk away from that conversation. Cat. Well, there you go. LeBron James. Did he ever show up at a WWE Raw in Philly? Probably not.
I don't think so. I'm still gonna just sign it with the Embiid tie-in because Embiid's a big wrestling fan. Triple H rang the bell in Philly for a playoff game, I believe. I can make this happen.
Yeah, there's always some connection.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, that one episode where LeBron had the flip phone, that was in Cleveland, so can't win that one.
Yeah,
that was 2003. Anyway, all this to say, yes, basketball is stupid.
I got to figure out my basketball day now because it just became a whole lot different. Yeah. Figure out what I'm doing with my basketball work today.
That's fine. There wasn't much going on in the basketball world before this, and the wrestling world doesn't have much going on either.
No, there wasn't. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay.
Someone asking, who are the 7 wrestlers that Wrestling Observer said it's signing? I don't know where this article came from, other than Tony saying there are people that he's interested in, and there were 7 people who hit the market yesterday officially as free agents. So I don't know what that whole thing is about. We'll find out soon enough. Motor City Machine Guns, that's 2. New Day, that's 4. I don't think Zoe Serrano's going there. Santos is most likely to go to CMLL. The entire Wyatt family. And finally, coming back. Oh, I got balloons. And finally, Ixlina.
Yeah.
Ixlina. But we can't report it until she reports it first.
Yeah.
Either way, it's who knows. Adam Brooks is really interesting because he did a bunch of TNA stuff and everyone was like, hey, you should probably consider signing Adam Brooks. And what did TNA do? Not sign Adam Brooks. And then Adam Brooks went and did MLW and people were like, you should consider signing Adam Brooks. And MLW is like, nah, we can find other people. So now AEW's got Adam Brooks and everyone's like, you should sign Adam Brooks. And they might just sign Adam Brooks. Or Brooksy might not want to move. I don't know. But he's very talented. I mean, Adam Brooks has been at it for quite a few years, and he's great. I just don't know if anyone wants to take a chance on him at this point because he's been doing it for a while. He's great, though.
Yeah, Sixers Knicks is definitely opening the season. Yeah, 100%. It'll be Sixers Knicks. It'll be Spurs Thunder. That's your opening night games.
Sixers going to win?
I don't think so. I'm always very... What?
They should beat the Knicks. This is setting up a finals rematch.
Well, it wouldn't be a finals.
It would be
rematch.
an opening night rematch, whatever. They can't. I get it. They're in the same conference. They can't be in the same. They'll find a way, Jeremy. And it was already trying to move Philadelphia to the Western Conference.
Okay. No, that'll probably be opening night. It'll be Sixers, Knicks, and Spurs Thunder. Yeah, I think the Knicks will win. I'm always hesitant. Champions usually lose on ring night. The Thunder won last year. I'm always hesitant on new teams and like how they gel with big offseason changes. And Philly's made some pretty big offseason changes. And yeah, then the Knicks really haven't. They just replaced Mitchell Robinson with Andre Drummond. So I always go with cohesion, especially on opening night. Now, by the end of the season, by the playoffs, might be a different story. But opening night, I always harken back to two examples. The Warriors lost on opening night when they added Durant. They lost to the Spurs. And the Heat lost on opening night when they added Bosh and LeBron. They lost to the Celtics. And they played teams that had chemistry, were already kind of together, and then they made major offseason changes, and so they ended up losing to teams that were more cohesive. Now, by the end of the year, the Heat were in the finals, and the Warriors won the championship, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, I would favor the Knicks on opening night. Man, I'm still kind of shocked by this. Sorry.
You shouldn't be. Sports are fake.
People think that like Joel Embiid might get traded for Anthony. That's not going to happen. I don't think like LeBron didn't sign there if it's not going to be Embiid. Like you want Embiid over Anthony Davis at this point, I think.
Can't believe LeBron didn't pick the Toronto Raptors.
I don't think they were ever on his list.
Perennial NBA Finals favorites.
Yeah.
There's always next year or 2 years, I guess.
No, it could be next year. It's a team option, so you can opt out. Or
So
player option, sorry.
Yeah, player options. I was gonna say, as long as it doesn't piss everyone off, they'll be fine. Good for LeBron. He's getting money, I guess. That's true. If anything, I respect that LeBron's hatred of Drake could be a reason not to sign with Toronto. I think any basketball player who decides that Drake is too much for them and just steps away, smart. That's what I want. Anyway, what else is there to talk about?
I don't even remember what we were talking about besides LeBron. The LeBron news is...
I know, that rocked your world.
Yeah.
We were just talking about podcasting, the podcast network stuff, and we kind of got to the end of that.
Oh, yeah. I will 100% sell out for AEW if we get on the podcast network. I don't care.
Oh, there you go. Again, but like we discussed, it was like this is something that we would want to be able to maintain the transparency of being creatively constructive.
Yeah, and I think but Tony would kind of be okay with that as long as we're not like super critical. Because the thing is then like the wrestlers are going to probably listen a little bit more. So I probably got to dial it back of certain things that I say. I don't think I'm like too harsh on everybody, but there's definitely going to be some criticism that they might not take as well if they are actually listening.
Yeah, you should probably stop talking shit about Sammy Guevara.
I don't think I've ever mentioned Sammy Guevara because he doesn't wrestle on the show.
That's true. He wrestles on Ring of Honor, which will be Kimmy's new show, the Honorable Hour, featuring Kimmy Sokol.
Yes.
Yes. The Honorable Hour. The Honor Hour? The Hour of Honor?
It's the Pure Hour.
Pure Hour.
Yeah, it's the Pure Hour, yeah.
And co-host Bobby Cruz. Has anyone mentioned Sammy Guevara? Yes, we've mentioned him before. The funny times where he loses and then regains the ROH tag titles, because that's just what we do. Talk is Jericho moving to the My AEW podcast.
Yeah, I have Talk is Jericho. Yeah, I have Talk is Jericho on there.
Do you get both? Would you get the Wednesday and Friday episodes?
Well, it's a 24-hour network, so
I guess
there's a lot going on this network. But Talk is Jericho, that airs at, let me double check my schedule, 3 to 5 p.m. And that's followed by Don Callis' Family Feud.
That's some drive time radio you're giving Chris Jericho.
Jericho's earned it, He's earned it.
The Painmaker podcast. That's what we'll call it.
The Painmaker podcast.
MVP, would he move over his show?
I would have him on there. I got a lot of like ancillary like backup programming as well, because this is just like initial run scheduling. There's going to be a whole lot more to go with this. But
Dumb bitches with Tekla.
We could do something like that. Yeah. I realize everyone should have a show, guys. I get it.
Show? Cage and Cope?
I'm not putting Cope on the airways.
How dare you? That was his best work.
No, the Edge and Christian show was actually very good. Their podcast was very good. No, I would do something with them. Yeah, Thekla just drinking and reviewing drinks with Thekla.
Tony Storm doing the news? Oh, come on.
Well, Tony Storm's not. She's dead, so
fair.
Can't do anything with her right now.
Do you think maybe the Bludgeon Brothers, well, God rest his soul, half of the Bludgeon Brothers took out Tony Storm? Is that what happened?
No.
Why not?
Because
one half. He could be back. It's Eric Rowan. Redbeard. Redbeard. No. It's Rowan. Redbeard.
No.
I don't want to put Tanahashi on the air. No, thank you. Let him enjoy his years of dad knees for the rest of his life.
We're gonna have Gabe Kidd might be a special guest on Addressing Enemies with Eddie Kingston and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, Gabe Kidd on the air would be a problem.
Yeah, we'd get kicked off pretty quickly.
Yeah, we get not only kicked off, but then we'd also have to get someone to translate for Gabe Kidd half the time. Love you, Gabe. Father's Day episode. It's just Christian talking about dead dads for 24 hours.
That would actually be hilarious.
All right, I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
We're not doing a CMLL podcast. What do you think this is? Charity?
We will have CMLL lineup. That's fine.
It's going to be the CMLL podcast hosted by SP3.
Yeah, I'll give it to SP3. SP3's already got in the weeds, but I'll give him his own show.
Conglomerate, they do a show. All 6 of them doing.
No, Orange Cassidy has movie reviews.
He just wanted to do a talk about Fast and Furious.
Well, yeah, but he can review other movies. He can bring on whoever he wants for that.
Fair.
Yeah.
Ospreay and Gabe just ramble for an hour. Again, not sure I can take that. Giving Will Ospreay an hour would turn into FCC violations if this were an actual radio station.
We might have late night talks with Will Ospreay and Alex Windsor. I feel like that could be good programming there.
Once again, if this were an actual station, the FCC would be all over us.
I don't care about that.
They'd be all over us as fast as they would be all over each other on the air.
I don't care about that stuff. Who cares?
Well, I love that we got the graphic up. WWE fan LeBron James signs with the Philadelphia 76ers.
Again, is that AI? Is that a real photo with Triple H and LeBron?
Yeah.
When was that taken?
I have no idea, but I have seen this photo before.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. I got to do an article of LeBron James joins WWE fan.
It's a Fanatics Fest, I think.
Joel Embiid. Oh, that makes sense. It was Fanatics Fest. Yeah, they were all there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
What's going on with the Triple H's hair thing?
He doesn't have any.
Well, no, he did you not see that he started growing out some of it at the Minnesota thing?
Oh yeah,
He had more hair, and that's very strange. Is he trying to grow his hair for a big return?
I don't know.
Bar rescue with the brawling birds. Okay, this is fine. Better than John Taffer.
I might be able to do something like that. I appreciate you guys pitching ideas. Again, I already have the schedule programmed here. I already have a lot of ideas for other programming in case one of my ideas falls through. I got backups to the backups to the backups here. But thank you guys for chiming in with more programming.
Did we talk about AEW shows on Mania weekend? Yes, on Monday's show we talked about that.
Yeah.
And whether or not it happens, who cares at this point? Mania weekend's going to happen. They're going to do, the big AAA and NXT shows on the big shows after WrestleMania. WrestleMania is now secondary because in New York, if you stay to watch that piddly WrestleMania, you can stick around for the main event, AAA Eternal Grounds, and Night 2 NXT Stand and Deliver. That's right. Fill the theater for NXT and AAA wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess WrestleMania will be on the screens. Have we talked about TNA? Yes, we've talked about TNA as well. Hell of a
Unfortunately.
Yes. There's nothing with TNA we didn't talk about.
We don't need to talk about more TNA.
That's fair. They're live next week. Going up, their second hour is going to be up against a live Collision second hour.
Is it?
Yeah. Collision is, they're doing 2 live shows in Detroit next week. I thought they were taping Collision in Detroit, but then they split it up. They're doing both live.
Tired of these wrestling companies running wrestling shows.
I know, it's awful. I guess that means the next week's post show is going to be me, Cresta, SP3, and whoever else.
Yeah.
It's going to be something else. Yeah. AEW running LA instead of New York? No, probably not. I think if anything, AEW is just going to run a bigger Revolution pay-per-view. If anything.
Yeah.
And just do something big there. But they don't need to run Mania week, Mania whatever. It's just, yeah. I don't know what they're going to do. I just know that they don't need to run New York the same weekend as WrestleMania. They can let that just be its own and then hopefully put together a great card for a pay-per-view that they're going to put on that's extra special. What that looks like, that's up to them.
So wait, they're running Detroit both nights?
They're running them, on the 29th and the 27th and 30th, 26th.
Oh, forget the Motor City debut on Wednesday. Do that shit on Thursday against TNA.
Actually, that would be very funny. Yeah, 29th and 30th. Yeah. So
okay.
The Collision. Wait a minute. Hold on. Maybe is the Collision? Yeah, it is a live Collision. Yeah, it is. It is because this is on the programming slate. They were airing Collision on the 30th. It was July. It was early July and late July because I had this.
Yeah, that makes sense because SummerSlam's next weekend and they typically don't run against the WWE shows. So it makes sense that they would be on Thursday.
So they're doing they're doing the 29th for Dynamite and then the 30th is Collision Live.
Then yes, have the Motor City debut on Thursday instead of Wednesday since it's still in Detroit.
As the crossover?
Yeah, like the first thing was 9 o'clock Collision. Yeah, 9 o'clock Collision right when TNA goes on the air. Motor City debuts on AEW.
I'm all about it. Tony Khan comes out to introduce them.
We know you could be watching that other channel. Oh, not really. No one watches that.
Yeah,
they actually did good numbers this past week.
I'm so confused. I guess it's because I didn't do a post show that they did so well.
It's because AJ Francis was on the charity stream. People were like, shit, let's watch TNA now.
When he was on the charity stream, I was watching him performing on TNA. It was very funny.
Nah, AJ was fun. AJ was good. And we're taking credit for it.
All the time. He's great.
Yeah, we're taking credit for it.
Yeah, raise your fish. Ready for Motor City Machine Guns in Detroit. Yeah, no, I would do it on the live Collision. That's a great idea. That's you do it during the crossover hour. Be like, you missed out, Carlos. Be like, they were gone before I came in. Be like, yeah, you missed out, Carlos. Not to be outdone. The newest acquisition for TNA Wrestling, Adam Brooks.
Who's TNA going to bring in? It's a live show. They're going to bring in somebody, right?
I don't know. Do they have to? Last time they did it, look at that. Look how that worked out.
Yeah, well, yeah, they have to. It's like a thing.
Right, a passage.
It's a bit.
For Lockdown?
They have to.
I guess it's going to be the challenger for Nick Nemeth's TNA title for Lockdown.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true. The Joe Gacy or Sam Shaw going after the Hardys next. That's what it's going to be. Gacy and Shaw, Sawyer and Shaw. Ex-Lena going after the Knockouts World title. Welcome back to NXT, whatever your name was.
I like Gacy and Shaw. I have no interest in more spooky lore stuff.
Well, you
Just
got what you
none.
get. The Hardys. Oh, are you kidding me? The Hardys are probably pushing for it so they can do like Bray Wyatt
Oh yeah.
memorial stuff.
Oh yeah. I 100% think they will. Like this actually makes sense to me. I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, Alaska. Oh, you know what that's gonna do to me though? It's gonna fuck me up if I want to interview what's his face, Joseph Shaw, the former Joe Gacy. If I want to interview him at C4, that's gonna be a whole thing, I think. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he'll be out of a contract by then. Yeah, it's Shaw and Sawyer. I can see them coming in to challenge the Hardys or something at Lockdown. There it is. They're going to come in. One tag team comes in and another tag team comes into the other company. It's not like there's anyone else in TNA that can face the Hardys at this point. They just killed one last night. Threw him in the Lake of Reincarnation.
Everybody's still alive. It's fine. They'll be okay.
Well, we never saw them come back.
They'll be back.
But yeah, that's next Thursday, which means our Friday will be full of talking about wrestling. I'm sorry.
That's unfortunate.
I know. This weekend there's pay-per-view.
Oh yeah.
There is Redemption. Starts at 7. We'll end around 1 a.m.
Better end by 12.
I don't think it will. I mean,
the press conference better start by 12:01.
Good luck with that. The Bell Center is the Bell Center historically is. They got to take us through. Okay, so just to give you guys an idea, you go in through a very separate entrance for media where they scan all your stuff, and then they walk you through the backstage area to get to wherever the press conference is. This is what happened with me in WWE, and it was like you just saw shit going on. Like there was people walking around, there was sets and stuff and boxes everywhere, and they got to do the same thing with the Bell Center because you have the entrance to the arena floor is the same way that you got to go around into the corridors where the press conference room is going to be. So it's an awkward spacing. So I'm looking forward to being pulled onto the floor during the main event to not be able to see the rest of the main event and then get put into the press conference room. That's what WWE did. So I hope they don't. I hope they have you wait until 1 a.m. to do this press conference so that I could be extra tired and delirious.
So you're going to have to wait. So
I know it's going to suck. That part's going to suck. But we'll make do. I'll be okay. Collision's tomorrow night, and they've already taped, so enjoy that. There's some good matches. Looking forward to it.
I'm gonna spoil it. Run down the card.
Oh, are we gonna do this? All
yeah,
right,
of course.
Hold on, let me get this up then. I gotta get the Collision card for everyone. If you don't want to be spoiled, now is the time where you should probably close your eardrums. I gotta pull up the Collision stuff. Give me a sec. Why does this have to be so hard? AEW Collision taped on the 22nd, airing on the 25th tomorrow. Zachary Rents. Zachary went.
Zachary Rents.
Yeah, Zachary Rents. Zachary because he rents his gear. That's not true. Zachary Wentz takes on Tommaso Ciampa.
The guy who's wrestling at the pay-per-view wins.
Wow, I can't believe the Rascals got onto the card. One last spoil before the AEW network. Shit. That will take out one of our options for content. The Young Bucks take on the Death Riders, the team of Wheeler Yuta and Danny Garcia. I probably should have left that out just to figure out which one should be who wins.
The team wrestling on the pay-per-view wins.
Wow. That's very upsetting. Angelica Risk, who is a favorite of our channel, takes on the CMLL woman known as Persephone.
The champion wins.
What championship does Angelica Risk have? Skyflight will take on the Lethal Twist. This is Skyflight, the team of Matt Sydal, Scorpio Sky, and Dante Martin. And Lethal Twist, of course, being Jay Lethal, Blake Christian, and Lee Johnson.
I actually don't know. I don't remember who wins this match.
Guess you're just going to have to tune in to find out live on Saturday for AEW Collision.
I'm going to...
You're going to go figure it out? Why don't you just guess? Why don't you guess?
I feel like it's... I feel like it's Skyflight, but they're kind of doing something with Lethal Twist and possibly joining the Demand, but it also feels like they're in ROH, so they always lose. So I'm going to go with Skyflight.
Tune in on Saturday to find out if Jeremy was right Qualifier for the 6-way ladder match at AEW Redemption, AR Fox and Nicholas Wayne.
Is Nick Wayne still a champion in ROH?
Does he have the TV title, or did he drop that?
No, Leo Rush has the TV title.
Oh, then there's your answer. He dropped it to what's his face, and then Leo won. He dropped it to
AR Fox was the champion. Yeah,
he dropped it to AR Fox. So now this is a rematch for the
former ROH TV champion wins.
Thank you for hedging.
Now I know who wins this one. I'm just being funny.
Fair. The Conglomerate, dude, the trios champions take on the Outrunners and Dalton Castle, who are the ROH 6-man tag champions still, I assume.
The AEW champions win.
Wow, that's upsetting. Okay, I'm not going to read what happens afterwards. Leo Rush, the TV champion, takes on El Clone in a qualifier for the ladder match at Redemption.
The ROH champion loses.
Wow, I can't believe that. And then meanwhile, in the main event, it is the team of the AEW Women's Champion Tekla and the TBS Champion Hikaru Shida taking on Maya World Champ, who is challenging for the TBS title, and Willow Nightingale, who will be challenging for the Women's World title.
I won't spoil this one because this is actually one of the most intriguing collision matches in a while. Fair. So I will not spoil this one.
Okay. Well, I'm sure Tony is very happy that you spoiled this particular one of all the matches that you could have spoiled. On SmackDown tonight, we have it. Sorry.
Cares.
Busted Open doesn't spoil Collision or mention. That is valid. I'm looking forward to that women's tag as well. It's like King of the North is saying, it's a preview tag. And I think you guys talked about it a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. SmackDown tonight is in the Oakland Arena in Oakland, California. Busted Open will spend more time talking about it than we will. The interim WWE Women's Championship ladder match qualifier is going to be Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax in a battle of my hole.
Remember when they got into a legit shoot fight? And then they tried to like recreate it the following week, and it was lame as hell. Yeah, but like the actual fight ruled when that happened.
It was not good.
I assume Charlotte wins.
Of course, she's got to take on Jade Cargill in the ladder match.
Yeah.
And they also announced the Chelsea Green versus Kiana James is the other qualifier.
It feels like Chelsea should win, but they like Kiana a whole lot. So I wouldn't be shocked if Kiana wins, but I hope Chelsea gets. Yeah, I hope Chelsea gets another ladder match because she's always fun in them.
Yeah, Gunther is going to address his match with Nick Aldis. He's going to call Nick Aldis a little bitch, and then Nick Aldis is probably going to get the upper hand and stand tall.
He's going to say, "Why are we doing this match? If I win, then all the heel wrestlers will be able to bully Nick Aldis, and if I lose, I look like a giant loser losing to a general manager. This match makes no sense."
God bless you for finally seeing it.
Do they reference that Nick Aldis is a former NWA World's Heavyweight Champion?
What's all this then? That's all you're going to get. Meanwhile, the WWE Undisputed Champion CM Punk slapped Cody Rhodes accidentally in the belt in the face with his belt, or at least allegedly accidentally. You asked Cody Rhodes, the challenger, he didn't do it by accident. It was on purpose. Those two are going to discuss their altercation, which included a pie facing at the pre-show event. This is so fucking stupid. I'm sorry. We're just cards out on the table. This was dumb. You hit me with the belt, so I'm upset with you. You literally have years of stories to tell, and the story is I am a petulant bitch child who got hit in the face with a belt. I said it on Monday. It is akin to my child coming to me and saying, that kid splashed me at the indoor pool. And me saying, did you want to get splashed? Yes or no? The answer, no. Then you walk away. None of these men are going to walk away because they're both too proud. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You have so much you can draw from. You don't even have to talk about AEW. I don't care what you do. This is what we're doing. You hit me in the face with the belt and it was by accident? I don't think so. Fucking ridiculous.
Are you okay? You're never going to be on WWE Radio talking like that.
Putting that shit up on our screen. But that's the thing. Like WWE, there are plenty of people who are not even WWE Radio adjacent or whatever you want to call it. Like they're talking about this like it's a good build. But It's not.
Well, who's talking about it like it's a good build?
So it's funny when I hear people. So I have a lot of respect for Wade Keller. I've talked about this many times. Wade likes the build. I can't remember why, but he does. Wade's been enjoying wrestling lately, and I just think he's just enjoying life right now. I know. I think Wade is just having a good time right now in life, so he's good. Because like he talks about how lovely Minnesota is in the springtime, and he goes to the cabin, and then summer is so beautiful, and everyone should come to SummerSlam because Minnesota is so what. I'm like, okay, Wade, I get it. You're doing good. You're happy, but the stories suck, and that's what we're dealing with. Yeah, it's terrible. But there are people who are thinking that this is, they're waiting for something. Actually, last week Wade did actually criticize. He's like, I was going to let it play out, but I can no longer let it play out. It sucks. So, yeah, this is stupid. This is plain old stupid. You hit me in the face with a belt. Like this is.
His face shouldn't have been there. If we're being honest.
Taking 2 steps to the left. Jesus. That's gonna be on SmackDown today. You hit me in the face with me. Joel just hates people being happy. I am happy. I am a happy. You want to talk about rants? I am a happy person. God damn it! I'm excited to go to Montreal and see all my friends. Presumably, I still have some. And I'm gonna go have a fun weekend. I'm gonna miss my family. I'm gonna have fun. We're having ice cream this afternoon. Everything's gonna be great. Everyone's happy. I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy. Don't put it in the news that I'm upset. I am happy.
Are you happy?
I am incredibly happy, Jeremy.
Okay, right.
I'm putting that shit on the screen. We're still going to rant. We're still going to rave. We're still going to talk about everything. Nothing's going to change. I promise. Nothing is ever going to change.
Joel wore his happy white shirt.
That's right. Laundry's almost done. I love our stupid show.
Wait till we're co-opted by AEW.
I will hate our stupid show so much more. At least Matt Hardy won't come after me. Well, maybe not.
Probably will, actually.
Probably will. That's true. More people will. Oh, God. What was your moment of Thursday? Exactly.
I don't know. Did anything happen yesterday?
Well,
that was like important.
Deletion.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Righteous Deletion. Sure, we'll go with the Righteous Deletion.
Fair. My moment of Thursday was Casey Navarro and Nick Nemeth. It was actually a good match. Casey Navarro is a great wrestler. Nick Nemeth sold really well for him. Outcome was never in doubt, but they told a really good story, and the crowd liked it, which does actually mean a lot in a wrestling match. So, yeah, good stuff there. Shout out to Casey and to Nick Nemeth. You think Nick Nemeth is still going to be part of WWE Radio? Of course he is.
Probably.
He's probably going to ask for a new deal. New Legends contract.
Maybe. Yeah.
Will we still have chat when this is co-opted by AEW? I would like us to still be on whatever streaming platforms we use.
Yeah.
Or at least to have a live interactive chat. That would be my favorite.
Yeah.
YouTube would be great.
Yeah.
The TNA time limit draw. Jesus Christ. What else do we have? What did we accomplish today? We will never be co-opted until we're co-opted, at which point we're going to be the best co-opted co-ops you'll ever meet. We're going to co-op the shit out of our co-option. And when someone tells you nothing's going to change, everything is going to change. You won't see it quickly, but it will subtly and over time happen. I promise. Well, this is actually something I've been thinking of putting in my notes for Nixie, because we're doing an interview together in Montreal. Should I ask her if she's still?
Yes, you should. That's all. That's my only question for her. Is like, do you wrestle?
She has a match at Produce.
She
clearly
does she? Wrestle? Is she a wrestler?
Yeah, allegedly is a wrestler.
Allegedly, yeah, allegedly for sure. Thank you. Yeah. All right. What do we accomplish today? We haven't accomplished it yet. We're gonna do a lot of ice, ice, baby. Here.
He sucks too.
Does he?
Oh yeah, he's all MAGA. He's a piece of shit.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, yeah. Good song.
That's well, at least
I don't pay attention to what these celebrities are doing.
That's good. Don't pay attention to any celebrity. They all suck.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
Are you ready?
Well, hold on. I'm trying to think of something, and I can't. I'm bad at thinking. Not my strong suit.
That's true.
Thinking.
I have seen your 24-hour stream and 24-hour AEW night programming.
I mean, sometimes I think too much is the problem.
It is the problem.
So we will be doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, but before we get to the Ice Bucket Challenge...
Mana, the final boss. And here we go. This is how good. Hey, Rock, go fuck yourself.
You gonna dump it on your head?
And here we go. Hey, well, I have not the... No, I'm not dumping Wheatley on my head. That sounds like it would be friggin' terrible.
Well, it might taste good afterwards.
I don't feel like that's a thing at all, but...
Just thought that counts.
Yeah. These ice cups they're stars. I don't know if people can like see
Oh,
that.
neat. Couldn't see it, but now I can.
All right, well, there you go. Yeah, they're stars. They're little star ice cubes.
And into the glass.
Yeah. And here we go. All right, make sure we got it all there. All right, Joel, you're going to have to vamp for a couple minutes as I get set up.
Okay, then.
Yeah, drink a sweetener. Yeah. All right.
Sounds like a
Does
really
AEW have a tequila sponsor? That's a good question.
Okay. They should get one for us. That will be part of the deal that we will need a tequila brand. Didn't they just do one for Forbidden Door?
Maybe.
They did just have a tequila sponsor.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it. They had some type of drink sponsor.
Dios Azul Tequila was the official.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. The official tequila brand of AEW. There you go.
All right. That's what we'll be drinking.
We're going to be
next.
It's going to be Dios Azul Tequila for Forbidden Door and beyond for the AEW Podcast Network.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I will be back here in a second.
We'll see you soon.
All right.
We'll be drinking Vita Coco and taking shots of DS, whatever I just said it was. That sounds good. I'd enjoy that, right? Would you guys drink coconut water and tequila? I feel like that would sting a little bit. Start drinking Woo energy drinks. I don't even know if they're still doing that. I don't think they still have the Woo energy stuff. That was a mushroom drink. I was not at all on that train. I'll tell you that much. But we'll get more drink sponsors for this show. When it happens, you'll all know it. You'll see it. You'll experience it firsthand. That we're gonna get the best drinks. Only the best drinks. Woo shots. Ugh, no thanks. We'll get yerba mate. I'm sure Adam Copeland will be over the moon about that. Get Guyaki. That's the one. Guyaki yerba mate. If they want to sponsor us, they're welcome to. Although got a little more calories in the can than I wanted to. Oh, Malort. We should get Malort to be a sponsor on the show. Drive us all nuts. That'd be perfect. I'd love to do that. I don't drink and coconut water messes up my stomach. Well, have you tried drinking to mess up your coconut water stomach? Have you tried mixing the two? That'd be great. That'll be good. We're gonna see what happens with the co-opting of WWE Radio and what that's going to look like. And we're also going to keep doing our show. We're still going to be independently owned and operated every single day, 10 a.m. Eastern until Fridays. They're not all the time, but you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Can you tell that I'm running on fumes? I'm there. It's Friday. I got to pack. I got to get ready to go to Montreal. Got to get ready to go talk to wrestlers. Got to get ready to go hang out with everyone. If you're in Montreal and you want to hang out, let me know. Just DM me or just contact me via socials and I'll be around because that will be a fun weekend. I'll be at Mystery Wrestling. I will be at Produit. I'll be at AEW Redemption, of course, and it'll be good. Colin, once again, go back and listen to what I said. It's not about whether or not they cover AEW. It's how quickly they stop talking about AEW. It's going to be a process. Never once said that they're going to stop, but yes. Someone I'm excited to interview. I am actually legitimately looking forward to talking to Nixie. Her and I, we met, I'll tell the story probably in the interview. We met for the first time in Vegas at WrestleMania 2 years ago. And it was outside of New York, New York. And she was with I had just finished my interview with Lil Mars, who's doing great, by the way. And I want to actually catch up with her because she's now working in Japan and she's from Australia. She's doing a lot of really cool work. But when I met Nixie, like I didn't know anything about what she does. And over the time that we follow each other on socials and like keep up with each other with wrestling, I've come to be really interested in like her style of work and her presentation of a character. So we'll dive into that. And I have one question that was from our first meeting in Vegas that I want to talk about because I don't think anyone knows this one thing that I know that is going to be a lot of fun to talk about. But I don't want to give it away because it's just a fun little thing. When Joel turns heel and Fightful and joins WWE Radio, I don't think so. A music review show with Joe Hendry sounds even worse. Other than that, for my interviews, I don't know who else I'm going to get. The good news is like when I go to Mystery, Hattie, who's been on our show before, Hattie usually will just grab people and be like, hey, go talk to Joel for Fightful. And we're done and it's easy. And I know most of the people there. If Daddy Magic's available and wants to talk, that'd be great. If Leo Rush is available and wants to talk, that would be great. I don't know in terms of like big timer interviews who's going to be available. I'd love to catch up with Uno again, whether that's at Mystery or at Produit. We always say hello at least. So that'll be that. And at Produit, I'm trying to think who else is there. I should probably talk to Green Phantom because he's been around forever in the Montreal scene and the Ontario scene, so he'd be fun to talk to. I'll put a lot of research behind the people I want to talk to, as I always do some today and do some as well on Saturday. I've got a short flight, so it's going to be easy for me to catch up and do stuff that I need to do. And I'm not bringing my Nintendo Switch this time because there's just no point. I won't have enough time to sit. I'd like to go to the casino. It'd be fun to go back to the Montreal casino. I'm sure I'll run into Tekla and the Young Bucks there trying to make all the money back, and that'd be nice. Maybe on Saturday night. Yeah, after the mystery show. The problem is I'm going to have all my gear with me, so I don't know how I'm going to go to a casino with all of my camera gear and a tripod and all this stuff, but we'll make it work. If anyone wants to go to the casino after mystery, let me know. We'll all go as a family. Jeremy Lambert has returned. I think I had to put him on the screen because he's doing this. Hello, you're back.
Hello. Yeah. All right, we're outside. We got the Ice Up Sun shirt on. This is a very why are you there we go.
I was trying to make you the bigger one.
Thank you. The Ice Up Sun shirt, that's a reference to Steve Smith. I also wore this shirt 13 years ago when I did this Ice Bucket Challenge. So that's how old this shirt is as well. So, all right. My lovely wife is going to dump the ice on me here. I'm going to hand the phone over. I got it. I'm going to hand the phone over to... Come here.
Come back.
Hold it just like that. There you go. Just stay right there. Stay right there. Okay, you're good. Hold it just like that. You don't have to move at all. You're good. Good job, good. Okay.
Don't move your fingers.
Yeah, don't move your fingers or anything. Okay.
Just like that. Just like that.
Yeah, she's good.
Okay.
The tiny one is. Everyone say hello to the tiny one. She can't see any of it, but everyone knows the tiny one. She's the tiny
Hello.
one. She's just. All right. Wife, Ice Bucket Challenge. Support ALS. Everybody. I'm gonna nominate everybody at Fightful. All you B words at Fightful. Sean, Alex, SP3, Jensen, Kate, Kimmy, Reg, Phil. Who am I missing? Joel, who am I missing?
Oh, I don't know. Me?
Yeah, you're a coward. I don't think you're actually going to do it. So that's why I wasn't going to nominate you.
Jesus. What's wrong with you?
All you Thecla words at Fightful. You're all nominated for this. Here we go. And here we go. All right. I gotta duck down.
Maggie.
My wife can get me here.
Rob.
There's a lot in here. There's a full bucket here.
Collins, JPJ.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you deserve that. Andrew Thompson, Jimmy Van. Good on you, pal.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
How do you feel?
Not great.
Oh,
Thank
you look great.
That's really cold. Really cold.
Should be.
I'll take that. Thank you. That's really cold. My hair looks amazing.
It does.
I gotta take a warm shower now. Whew.
Are you coming back, or are you?
We'll just end the show here. We don't have anything else to do we? I'm not gonna go sit in my chair.
I do have something. Can I just do this one thing with you?
Sure. What are we doing?
I just hang tight. 10 years too late. It's the Ice Bucket Challenge. Jeremy Lambert called me a coward, and I said, screw you. I'm not a coward. I'm just as able and willing to do it as anybody else.
It's at least 15 years too late.
It's at least, that's my incredible, wonderful wife in the background, letting you know that it is, in fact, 15 years too late. So, on your mark, get set. I take a shower there. I'm going to regret that come showtime. Suck it.
Why does that video look so old?
It's probably compressed to hell.
Oh. Well, good on you, Joel Pearl. Good on you.
I got you all. There we go. Said I'd do it, and here we are.
I respect it.
I got you.
I respect it.
If nothing else, it's just a setup for our next big adventure. Just get it off the air.
Yeah, was there ice?
Yeah, there was ice.
Was there ice?
Yeah, there was.
Okay.
It may have melted a tiny bit, but it was there. They were the small ice cubes.
Melted. Ice cubes. What are we doing? Melted ice.
I mean, that is water. My nomination.
True, but like,
this is a good question. Was this the last black shirt I had? It was one I haven't worn in a while. Adam Cole, Bay. Shout out to him. Hope he's doing well.
Yes, we do hope Adam Cole's doing well. Good job, Joel. I respect it. I'm very proud of you for actually doing it because I did think you were going to be a coward.
Who am I nominating? I'm nominating the same people at Fightful. You know what? The Love Wrestling crew. Just because
I can say it now. All you bitches at Fightful.
There you go. Hey, Love Wrestling crew. All of you who are currently in Montreal, including our own JPJ, who's there as well, go and do the Ice Bucket Challenge. There you go. We're doing it for Rebel. We're doing it for Jeff Cannonball. We're doing it for ALS because it is maybe 15 years too late, but it's important now. So go ahead and do it.
Always important.
It's always important. But yeah. Anything else before we get out of here?
I don't think so. It's much colder out today. Like I was hoping it'd be a little bit warmer, but what can you do?
No, you get what you get. You don't be upset.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a shower. Nice some warm shower.
We are back on Monday. I'm not. It's going to be SP3 and Jeremy talking about AEW Redemption. I'm going to be literally on a plane. If I can get on before takeoff, I will do it. But my plane takes off, I think, at 10:15. So that'll be that. Nobody try and get on my plane with me. So until then, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy pay-per-views. Enjoy the TV. Or don't. Go outside and enjoy yourself. We are going to be independent as they come until the end. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you on Monday.